And a good evening and welcome into high school football. Tonight it's the 37th annual Times Reporter Charity All-Star Game, and I'm Willie Grove, joined tonight Kevin Keffer and Carmel Hodder, and we'll get to Carmel in just a minute.
Yep.
But Kevin, I'll tell you what, when you look at something that's lasted 37 years, somebody's doing something right in the area.
Oh, there's no question, Willie. I think the money that's been raised by this game, by these kids playing football, and these coaches donating their time, and people, you know, just like New Philadelphia tonight, donating their stadium, and the work it takes to get the game on just for them, it's incredible, but it's all for a good cause, and obviously that's why it's lasted.
1978, the first game played. We're at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium tonight, and Kevin, coaches have had about 2 weeks of practice. Not a lot of time to put a lot of stuff in, but what do you try to do for tonight's game?
Well, I'm going to ask Eric that here in a little bit, but I think the main thing, you try to get them to line up good, understand each other, because these kids, a lot of them know each other, but some of them don't know each other at all. I mean, the kids from West Holmes and Riverview probably don't know anybody from, you know, some of the other small schools. So, you know, you just try to get them to know each other and line up good, and they can play football. So, I mean, you don't, you know, it ain't brain surgery, as they say, so you try to keep it simple and just play.
Normally we put the rose in between the two thorns. I won't tell you who the rose is tonight. Carmel, she is the head of the Rainbow Connection
yes,
here.
I am.
And just share with us what it's meant to you to have this game and you guys benefit from this charity.
To me, it means that the community respects the Rainbow Connection. We work so closely with the other organizations and obviously the Times Reporter. This brings us all together for one night. It's good for the students, all the athletes, and look at all the parents and grandparents out in the stands. I think this is a wonderful night.
And you know what? The thing I like the most, I guess, about this is your money stays local.
Absolutely. You know, Willie, I want everybody to know we started expanding some of our assistance. We're helping a lot of working people right now. We finally started realizing deductibles are so high and co-payments and things aren't covered. Come to us. Call the Rainbow Connection. You know you're going to get me on the phone. Everybody knows who I am. Call me. Call Carmel Hodder at 330-343-8686. Let me try and help you as best I can.
All right, and we'll come back with that. Kevin and I will be up in the booth in just a minute. It's going to be the East-West All-Star Game from Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium. We'll be back with more right after this.
Omni Orthopedics comprehensive programs provide early diagnosis and successful treatment for every musculoskeletal problem. With more than 30 years of orthopedic experience, their physicians offer patient-centered treatment for all ages. From evaluation to rehabilitation, your treatment plan is designed around your needs. Omni Orthopedics specializes in sports medicine, the spine, physical medicine and rehabilitation, foot and ankle, and hand surgery. If pain makes activities like climbing stairs, standing or walking a challenge, turn to the home team at Omni Orthopedics. Their mission is to provide you with the highest quality and most advanced orthopedic services so you can get back in the game. Located in the Oxford Medical Arts Building, Omni offers a full-service facility including digital x-ray and physical therapy. So there's no need to travel when quality care is so close to home. Omni Orthopedics, setting the standard in orthopedic care.
You can create a lasting legacy with a gift to the Tuscarawas County Community Foundation. It provides a safe, trustworthy philanthropic choice for your estate planning needs. Through the generosity of area residents, the foundation has been able to provide nearly $5 million in funding for a variety of community projects and student scholarships that have positively impacted each corner of our county. Help your community by making a tax-deductible donation to the Tuscarawas County Community Foundation today.
As the area's leader in direct-to-garment printing, you won't be surprised by Dennison T-Shirt Graphics' huge range of services: screen printing, banners, engraving, graphic design, and embroidery. They offer just about anything you can imagine, like shirts, mugs, hats, plaques, trophies, and more. They're located right here in New Philadelphia on the south side and on the web at DenisonT-shirt.com.
Kevin Keffer with Coach Eric Henry from Claymont at the 37th Charity All-Star Game. Eric, since I had the privilege to coach you many years ago, and work with your dad, I guess my first thing to you is, what's it feel like for you to come back and get to be the head coach in a game that your dad was the head coach in, I think, when you played, right? I know he was the head coach in it anyhow.
Yep.
So how's that feel? Because I think you're the first ever father-son combination to coach in this game.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. It's very special. You know, I grew up with this game. I remember when I was a little ball boy for Coach Jeff Yurko, whenever he coached, and then of course I got to play in it, and then I've coached with several other coaches, so it's very special.
So what's give us people just a little idea, like you get 2 weeks, that's not much time, and especially when you're bringing kids that don't really know each other, some of them, and you're putting them in maybe a different position or two.
Right,
How's that go as a head coach?
Well, you know, we watered down a lot of things. You know, what surprised me is the kids, a lot of them really knew each other. I was kind of worried, you know, how they were going to mesh together, and they come in the first day and they were comfortable with each other, and it worked real well. But we watered a lot of things down and just trying to get the basics in and have fun.
Okay. How about what you got up your sleeve? I mean, you know, this is one of them games that, you know, I think it's a game to have some fun in and do some things maybe you wouldn't do in maybe a normal situation. You're trying to make the playoffs or one of those kind of things. You're going to be maybe a little closer to the best. But here tonight, you got any surprises for everybody?
Well, we do. You know, my offensive coordinators, Coach Boffman, he's got a couple trick plays that he's eager to run. So we got some things we're going to try.
Okay. All right. What about who should we look for, you know, maybe to make an impact in the game? You know, who do we have that, you know, just keep an eye on while we're up in the booth?
Well, you know, we got quite a few. We're pretty blessed with quarterbacks. I've never had this many quarterbacks, and I probably never will again. I got 4 guys at quarterback that could start on any team. So, you know, we got Tucci, Byers, Beans, and you know, Logan Ryan from Indian Valley. Those are all good skill guys, plus the Haas from Malvern. So there's guys there that can certainly make some big plays.
Okay. Well, Coach Eric Henry again for the East All-Stars, and you know, here at the 37th Charity All-Star Game. Good luck, Eric, and let's have a good one.
Great, thank you.
Hi, I'm Elaine Miller with Naturally Green Cleaning Service. My company serves both commercial and residential clients. We do general cleaning, spring and fall, empty homes to get them move-in ready, and final cleans for new construction. We use eco-friendly cleaning products that leave your home or office fresh, clean, and safe for you, your family, pets, or coworkers. Our focus at Naturally Green is to provide excellent customer service paired with outstanding work to build a relationship of trust with you, our clients. Having served the area 4+ years, we have had many referrals and testimonials that you can access on our website at www.naturallygreencs.com. Our work sells itself, therefore we have never had any contracts even with our largest commercial accounts. Call us today for your free quote and see what makes our company stand out.
Myers & Miller Podiatry provides complete foot and ankle care to patients of all ages. The practice was established in 2000 by Dr. Adam Myers and has grown to include Dr. Andy Miller in 2007 and most recently Dr. Jason Backage in 2010. Our core values of respect and honesty are the basis for how we manage our practice, and we have grown by building relationships with our patients in order to better serve their needs. Myers & Miller Podiatry serves Tuscarawas and Holmes County with offices in Dover, Sugar Creek, New Comerstown, and Millersburg. Let's get started building our relationship.
Hi, this is Denise from the Glass Lumber Company. Are you ready to tackle those fall projects? Call Glass Lumber. We have everything you need to finish those fall projects. Do you want to make your home more energy efficient? Call Glass Lumber and ask about new windows, doors, and insulation. Do you need a new roof? Call Glass Lumber. We offer complete roofing packages and we deliver. Do you need pressure-treated lumber? Call Glass Lumber. We have a complete line of pressure-treated, premium-grade Pro wood for all of your building projects. Doors, windows, insulation, roofing packages, flooring, a complete line of hardware, and of course lumber. With estimating and delivery, it's all at the Glass Lumber Company. Are you not sure if the project will fit the budget? Call Glass Lumber. We are a service company also. From the handyman to the contractor, Glass Lumber Company, we have everything to build anything. On the Boulevard in New Philadelphia or online at glasslumbercompany.com.
And welcome back to Woody Hayes Quakers Stadium. I'm Willie Grove, joined with the head coach of the East. This is John Cox of Strasburg. And John, a little different scenario. I mean, Eric Brock was going to be the coach. He got hired and went to Green High School. And you didn't hesitate when they called you.
Nope, I want to thank Eric Brock because he created this great opportunity for me. And this week has been really fun, you know, getting to find out what this game's all about and getting to coach all of this great talent that's been bestowed upon me. I mean, my hat's off to you, Eric. Thanks for taking that job.
And you know what, John? You only got 2 weeks to really work with them. Last time for the high school seniors to kind of showcase their talents with family and friends of the county. What do you try to accomplish in those 2 weeks? Can you do a whole lot?
Well, what you try to do is you try to come up with a system that everybody's going to understand. They're coming from different systems. Terminology is different wherever you're at. So you try to come up with a simple system that's going to be easy for them to understand quickly. And in all reality, 2 weeks is 14 days. In all reality, we only had 7 practice days, and 2 of those were in just helmets, and then last night was more of a tune-up night. So it's a tough task, but you know, my staff had done this before with Coach Morris 2 years ago, so you know, we had a good grasp on what we needed to do, and you know, that it was pretty easy once we saw the talent we had, what we wanted to do, and the guys picked everything up so quick. This is a really smart football bunch. I don't know how they do in the classroom, but on the football field, they're pretty darn smart. There's some future coaches out here, let's just put it that way.
And you know what, John, as you look at the All-Star game, is there something that's easier to do? Can you run the ball, pass the ball? Does the defense have an advantage over the offense?
I think that a true all-star game, it should be almost kind of like a girls' softball game, one zip, you know, one of those deals, because you got so much talent. And I think the easiest thing to put in is defense, you know what I mean, in my opinion. So, you know, sometimes the Hogs come in a little out of shape because usually you got a whole month to get them healthy. Some of them guys have been sitting around a little bit too much since the season ended, like myself. But, you know, it was I think that one of these games should be kind of low scoring, and it's just a shootout, you know, kind of old school football, smash mouth. You know, we're planning on doing a little bit of running, but we're also going to go up top because it is an all-star game and people want to see something exciting happen.
Everybody coming through healthy the 2 weeks?
Yeah, we had a couple injuries. You know, Logan Wilson from Garaway, you know, he had a tweaked groin muscle, and it was hurting him a little bit. We sat him out last night and saw him before the game, and he said he's good to go. And then Evan Hensel, one of my guys from Strasburg, he had a separated shoulder, and them guys, this game means a lot to them. They weren't going to let an injury like those keep them out. But other than that, bless the good Lord, we didn't get anybody banged up this week.
And I don't have to tell you, have fun.
Thank you, Willie.
All right, that's John Cox, the East head coach. And when we come back, Kevin Keffner and I'll get you ready for tonight's matchup between the West and the East right here on TV2.
Searching for quality bottled water? Call Crystal Springs Water Company. Crystal Springs Water is a family-owned and operated company that's been proudly serving the community since 1986. Crystal Springs offers a quality bottled water in a variety of sizes to suit your everyday needs. They also carry a selection of water coolers, cups, bottle racks, hydro pumps, and premium water softening salts. All available for pickup or delivery. Call Crystal Springs Water Company today.
Hi, Hi, I'm Paula Salzner, realtor with Kaufman Realty and Auctions, and I'm inviting you to watch my real estate show on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 6 o'clock. We'll talk about everything from financing to buying your first home to listing your home. So stop in and watch me. So this is Paula, selling Ohio 1 yard at a time.
Hat maker Vincent Brimble prospered in the town of Hattington. Never flashy, he only made the classic bowler. Then suddenly the day's trend became preposterously tall. His Raymond James financial advisor reminded him that focusing on the long term is always fashionable. The fad was indeed a passing one. His patience paid off, allowing him to one day hang up his hat with confidence.
Are you uncertain about your retirement, your investments, or the economy and would like a second opinion? Please contact us at 330-343-2212 or visit us online at raymondjamesohio.com. Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA SPIC.
2014 West All-Stars.
And once again, welcome into high school football here on TV2. Tonight, we have the East and the West All-Stars, and it's put on by the Times Reporter, benefiting the
East All-Star assistant coaches, Reverend Mark Unruh.
The West, you know,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Willie. I was taken in.
I was going to say the Rainbow Connection has been the benefit for the last 16 years that we know for sure. And Kevin, when you can give over $314,000 to a charity for this game, that's saying something.
Well, I mean, you and I have spoken about this, you know, before. But the fact that it's lasted 37 years and you know, and it's basically all done voluntarily. I mean, everything here is pretty much free. So, you know, all the money's going to the right place, and it's all staying local, and that's just hard to believe and wonderful.
And you know what? We want to thank the folks at Robert's Tuck Shop for being the sponsor of our Coach's Corner tonight. Kevin interviewed Eric Henry, and I had the privilege of interviewing John Cox. John, head coach of the West, Eric, head coach of the East, and John's like a kid in a candy store right now, Kevin. He's excited about this game. He's got some very talented players and had 2 weeks to work with them, and he's looking forward to an exciting night.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it should be. I mean, it's one of those games, Willie, that, like I kind of kidded Eric before that, you know, and as I told you, Eric, I think is the first kid. He played in this game, but his father was also the head coach of this game. So it's father and son combination. But you got to take the game like it's meant to be. You don't want to see, first of all, you don't want to see anybody get injured, but you want to see kids play football and one last chance for a lot of these kids to go out and show their talents off.
Once again, Robert's Tuck Shop. They're located at 710 Boulevard Street in Dover. That's next to the Taco Bell. If you need a tux for a prom, give Robert's Tux a call at 330-602-6773. That's where they have been helping plan your special day for over 40 years. Kevin, we already witnessed the Ricardo's Party Center coin toss, and the results of that coin toss is you saw it.
Yeah, well, the West won the toss, and you know, they deferred till the second half, which is fairly normal. Now, that you may see that a little different, like for Dover. We may take the kick sometimes now, but normally it's deferred, and so the East will go on offense first, and the West will go on defense, and then the second half they'll get the ball, and you know, that was a good addition to high school football. I think the whole opportunity to defer.
And once again, the coin toss brought to you by Ricardo's Party Center, where memories are made. So if you have a wedding reception, banquet, graduation, or other special event requiring experienced quality catering, give Rick a call at 364-6700. That's 364-6700, or visit them online at ricardospartycenter.com. Matter of fact, tell Rick, Willie, and Kevin sent you. Might even get a little extra incentive to do that. We're going to look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by your local Nationwide Insurance Agents Don Kemp, located at 2146 East High Street in New Philadelphia, and Doug Sofer, located at 435 West High Avenue, also in New Philadelphia. So if you're looking for a home, car, health, or life insurance, give Don a call at 330-339-4211 or Doug at 330-339-4700. Now, we will take a break here for the national anthem when they begin to play it, but we're going to go ahead and look at the East starters until we get the sing of the national anthem. East will start on offense at tight end, number 7, Jovan Morrow. Jake Geiger, he's going to be the offensive tackle. Another offensive tackle, Sam Shook. Offensive guard, Logan Myers. Another guard is Cole Howes. The center is Curtis McGarry. And at wide receiver, you got Mitch Pate. Another wide receiver, Brady Byers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Logan
would you please
Ryan.
rise and join the
Center, Curtis McGarry. And the quarterback, Caleb Beans. And now our national anthem.
Last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare of a bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the
I often wondered why I couldn't sing, you know. Those guys do a wonderful job, the Shunbrun Valley chorus down there.
I'm pretty sure I know why I can't sing. I screamed way too much, the coach. My vocal cords are completely gone.
Absolutely. And now, you know what, it's time to take a look at the West starters on defense, Kevin.
Yep. On the West starters on defense, we have defensive end Logan Wilson from Garaway. The other defensive end is John Dice from Fairless. The defensive tackles will be Brady Faust of Dover and M.J. Carey of Riverview. The nose guard will be Grayson Miller of West Holmes. Linebackers will be Mick Fischel from Dover, Dylan Stevens from Dover, and Luke Filippi from Dover. So all three of the Dover kids are going to start at linebacker. Cornerback Jordan Mills from Dover, and the other cornerback is Jacob Bambeck, another Dover kid. And then the safety is Joe Warkle from Garaway. And that completes the starting lineup on defense. A little Dover dominated there, I guess, but those kids were all pretty good players. I mean, I get it.
That's a pretty good linebacking crew right there. And that is a look at our Nationwide Insurance starting lineups tonight. And that's brought to you by Don Kemp and Doug Sofer. And again, you can call Don at 330-339-4211 or Doug at 330-339-4700. Try to get in before the kickoff tonight, the injury report. And a couple injuries, and it didn't keep them out of the game. Injury report brought to you by Omni Orthopedics. If you've been sidelined with an injury, get back into the game with the home team at Omni Orthopedics with more than 30 years of orthopedic experience. Their physicians offer patient-centered treatment for all ages. And I guess before we go into the injury report, the two teams, they lined up after the toss. Boy, how they forget quickly that they lined up that way, and they were kind of lined up the wrong ends.
Well, it's kind of cute, actually. You know, the officials are still, you know, I mean, those guys, again, they're volunteering their time too, Willie, and, it's like there's a whole handful of them out there, but, you know what, whoa, boys, we're on the wrong end. We got to get turned around.
And you know what? Hey, hats off to the officials for even remembering that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the update on the injuries. The East had Ethan Grant, who's been diagnosed with cancer. We're going to try to get our fan cam. There's a group of almost 200 people here that are supporting him that have bought shirts. Ethan going through chemo treatments will be in the game tonight for the East. And Caleb Beans, a little bit of the flu bug, and he's expected to play. For the West, Logan Wilson pulled a groin muscle in practice, said it's not going to keep him out. And Evan Hensel separated his shoulder or had a shoulder injury, and both of those guys are expected to play. So we want to thank the folks at Omni Orthopedics for bringing us the injury report tonight.
I didn't know the Hensel boy. I just spoke to his mom and dad before the game. I didn't realize he had been injured.
Tough kid. I'll tell you what, I saw Evan talking about him. Probably last time I saw him, he was sort of little, maybe 5, 6, 7 years old. He's almost a grown man. That boy has grown up. He's pretty good size.
Yeah. Well, you know, these kids anymore, Willie, they get in the weight room early, and you know, that does, you know, does make them certainly look more mature than maybe even they are, because he's still not a real big kid. I mean,
and you know what? I never get down on the field before games, but boy, some of these guys are pretty tall down there in their uniforms. Tonight's opening kickoff is brought to you by Domino's Pizza, located at 88 East Iron Avenue in Dover. Enjoy some pizza during the game and call 330-343-4434 for fast delivery, or order online at www.pizza.domino's.com. Once again, the West won the coin toss. They elected to defer. They'll get the ball to start the second half. They're going to kick off to the East. And kicking for the West is Cole Bittekoffer of Strasburg. Looks like a number 2 to me.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely is.
Back deep, one of the players for the East.
Well, fooled us there.
John Gray, so he's going to high kick, comes down to the 22-yard line. And just about a 4-yard pickup.
Nate Shepler on the return.
Before a couple of the West players wrapped him up. In there for the West, Kevin, was Luke Filippi.
Yep, Luke was in there.
And so was Ryan Lowe of Ridgewood.
These All-Stars will start first and 10 from their own 28.
One of the things Coach Henry said before the game was he's never had this many quarterbacks, you know, like to pick from.
Starting at quarterback again for the East is Caleb Beans, New Philadelphia product. 6'2", 200. He's got 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left who's in motion. And that is Brady Byers. He's going to get it. He's going to pass. A little trick play. Start 3 red jerseys around that receiver, intended for Jovan Morrow. West wasn't full at all, were they?
No, I don't think that probably didn't have the hoped effect. It's funny, I asked Eric if he was going to try anything cute and come right out of the box and halfback pass, or, well, I guess it was actually probably split in around pass or flanker pass, or it wouldn't be a split in, it was a flanker, but.
Incomplete.
Yep.
It'll bring up
second and 10.
Yep. So again, Beans looking at his wrist. Must have some plays on there. He's going to hand off. Coming up the middle and cutting it to the right side. Got some running room.
That's Coben Plessinger.
And that's Coben Plessinger of Malvern.
Plessinger, nice run right there. I mean, he had a nice hole.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Plessinger, he took the handoff from Beans and Kevin. You can see the hole open up.
Yeah, it's definitely it was a trap. You know, it was a trap, and he got a decent block of it. He just cut it to the outside, and nice stiff arm.
Ball's on their own 49-yard line.
So it'll be first and 10 at the 49.
Keep an eye on him, Willie. He ran the ball pretty well.
Yep. Beans back to pass. Second. Well, actually, his first attempt throws it to the sideline, incomplete. What do you think, Kevin?
Well,
officials give you a little bit of leeway here than they would in a regular season?
Absolutely.
Looked like that defender was all over that receiver.
Absolutely.
Pass is incomplete.
It's incomplete. Second down and 10 now.
That was a dangerous throw. Beanie knows that. You're throwing it that far across the field and not very deep. That trajectory is not good.
Caleb again looking at his wrist, turning. Talking to his lone setback, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Man in motion, fakes to him, gives it to Plessinger again. Plessinger again breaks it. He's got a first down and more, across the 40, 35, down close to the 32-yard line. You called it.
Again, I'm telling you, Willie, you're going to see this. I think this kid did a lot of this on his own here. He's a pretty quick young man. I know that Coach Tucci's had some pretty good players, and I don't know if we're going to get a look at that one or not, but that That was a nice run.
And another first down. So Plessinger's picked up 2 first downs running the ball for the East. Beans again in the shotgun. Plessinger off to his left. 11:15 to go here, first quarter. East has the ball. He's going to go deep into the end zone. He's got a guy, and the defender closes in and knocks it away.
It was out of the end zone, I think.
Yes.
It was out of the end zone, I believe.
Mills on the coverage.
That one was intended for
Pass is incomplete.
Mitchell
Second down,
Pape, I believe,
Yeah.
6'3", 170 New Philly product.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice get out of jail free card, though, when you got a running back who's carried the ball twice for 20-plus yards.
Uh-huh. It'll bring up second down and 10 now. Ball at the West 32.5-yard line. He's got 3 wide receivers to the right this time, 1 split out to the left. Does finally give the ball. Kind of kept it from Plessinger for a while, and when he gave it to him, boy, the defense closed in.
Loss of a yard. Third
In on
down,
that tackle for West, Josh Dice of Fairless.
I thought I think Brady was in there too. I think, yeah.
There was 2 red jerseys for sure.
Yeah, that was a little better defensive effort right there.
It's going to bring up third down for the East. We are scoreless. 10.5 minutes to go first quarter here at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium. Beans is going to go deep again down the left side. He's got a guy, and off the outstretched hands.
Mitchell Pape again.
again.
And again, he's going to, and that's going to happen in this game, really. Where he's going to try to look at Paper. He's going to look at, Joe Von Morrow. I mean, kids that he's played with, when he has to. He's going to just do that. That just happens.
Yep. Little decision time here, Kevin.
Yeah, it's
on fourth down, ball at the
certainly
32.
Certainly not going to punt it from there. And you're not. I seriously doubt we have a field goal kicker that's going to kick a 50-yarder. I mean, I don't know who the kickers are. I should have looked. I guess done my homework a little better, but that'd be a heck of a kick.
Nonetheless, on fourth down, East is going to go for it. Pass over the middle. Got a receiver. Got it at the 19. First down, East.
Yeah, nice square in there by Ryan.
Yeah.
So
Beans drop back, straight back, and
you don't get to see the route. You don't get to see the route as much here, but it's a nice little square in right there, just coming underneath there, and
it'll be first and 10.
That was a nice throw by Beans. That's a nice first down right there. Keep the drive alive.
End up marking the ball close to the 20-yard line, so first and 10 from the 20. Plessinger actually dragging.
Yeah. That was 33. Yeah, I was going to say Josh Dice, I think, too. I think Dice was in on that, but again, Plessinger did a nice job on that, Will. He's
well, he got hit at the line, Kevin. He still got 3 yards out of it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's going to bring up second and 10. He's not in any hurry. Play clock down to about 10 seconds, so game clock, 9:25 to go first quarter.
Caleb's pretty comfortable with that play clock. Oh, my goodness.
You saw what I saw. That was a tough pass. And again, good
Jordan
defense.
Mills. I think if Mills had been looking, he might have been a hero right there. I don't think he realized they were throwing it to him.
Jordan, the cornerback over there, and like you said, if he saw the ball coming, he could have stepped in front, and it was payday the other way. Second, loss of 1 on the yard, or make that third down. Third and 11 from the 21 of the West. East took the opening kickoff. Dave still got the football. Beans plenty of time, rolling out to his right.
Nope.
Overthrew the intended receiver in the end zone. That's going to bring up another fourth down. See if they go back to something over the middle again, Kevin, where it was open and they got picked up a first down last time they had fourth.
One of the things that so far, Willie, that that the West is basically just playing defense. That's the thing about this game. You don't want to do a whole lot of stunting. At least I'm going to editorialize. You don't want to do a lot of that. Get a kid hurt because these kids aren't going to pick up those stunts. You know what? Just let them play football. Let them block the guy they got to block and rush. And if you can beat him, you can beat him.
Here comes a fourth down 11 play for the East. Caleb Beans at quarterback. He's going for all of it.
Into
the end zone. Touchdown. Yeah. East All-Stars. Catching the football was Mitchell Pate.
Yeah, Pate. Nice throw.
So Caleb Beans to Mitchell Pate.
I think Jordan Mills is on the coverage, I think.
"21-yard touchdown pass.
Number 1, Connor Cool. Will come to the point after touch.
Just ran a little fade.
Yeah.
Huh?
To hold for the East is Logan Ryan. Kick is up, and it's good. And I think that was Connor Cole of Indian Valley.
So Logan Ryan was the holder?
Yep. So we've got our first score of the ball game. East goes on top 7-0. 8:06 to go first quarter.
That was a drive, Willie. No?
Yeah. Actually, it was. And we'll get those stats at halftime. I don't know how many plays they took, but in a typical high school game on Friday night, that's what you want to do.
Start the game, drive
take
it
clock,
down.
Take time off the clock.
I mean, honestly, that was a 12, 13 play drive. I mean, just, I wasn't keeping track of them, but they were fourth down a couple times. So, yeah, that's the way you control the game right there.
So the East on the scoreboard first. We'll see what the West can do next. And
work call for Garraway. Is he the kicker for them? Does that look like number 4? I was trying to get his number. Oh, number 1.
Connor Cole.
Number 1, yeah. Sorry.
Yep. In Indian Valley and 5'9", 175 pounds.
Wrong sheet, Will. I'll catch up.
Part of the problem here is just keeping them organized, isn't it? East, West, and another kickoff, this time taking it about the 10 by the West. And it's going to be Shea Smith of Dover. Cuts back, actually comes up across the 30, 34-yard line before the East is able to bring him down. Wanted to go across the field and then cut it right back. It'll be 1st and 10 now for the West.
Shea's a Carnes Drive kid, Willie, just for the record.
Is he?
Yeah.
Let's give the West offense starters right now.
Yeah. We got Tom Addy from Strasburg, Josh Cohn from Dover. We got Ben Sexton from Garraway, Jake Matthews from Riverview. Coming up, Grayson Miller from West Holmes, and we'll get the rest of them after the play.
All righty. At quarterback is Ryan Lowe. He gets the start for Ridgewood, 6'3", 200. A couple guys in the backfield with him. He's dropping back to pass. Going down the sideline. It's caught inside the 50, 45. Almost broke the tackle. Cody Williams.
Cody Williams from Coshocton. Yep.
Again at quarterback is Ryan Lowe. Just straight back, Kevin, and put it out there. Receiver went up and got it.
Big tall kid. I mean, actually Cody Williams, he made a couple. I saw him play earlier against us. Shea Smith from Dover is number 10. He's the other wide receiver. Ryan Lowe is the quarterback.
So it brings up another 1st down and 10 for the West. Handoff this time.
Big hole.
And it's going to be Brandon Adams. Adams, tough to bring down for Riverview. 5'10", 170. All the way down to the 29-yard line. 2 plays, 2 first down for West. They're not going to mess around.
I think the only kid we didn't get there was Landry Hostetler from Strasburg is the fullback. They have him listed as the fullback anyhow, number 16.
Okay. Lowe at quarterback. Wide receiver both ways. He's going to turn. He's going to hand it back off. This again to Brandon Adams. This time the East does a little better job. And we got a little altercation in an all-star game. And I guess just for good tidings, we're going to throw a flag. A little extra activity there, Kevin, after the tackle. The helmet didn't get ripped off until the guy was down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly. You couldn't. Maybe on the replay we could see it, but I don't want to know.
You know what? Let's give the East defensive starters now, since we did the West offense. And for the East, the defensive end, Mark Barrow, Caleb Verhovic, Colt Krall, Austin Bentley, Trevor Garbrandt, Devin Bailey, Earl Scranton, Alex Ruffini, Link Trader, Colton Cottis, and Greg Cunningham. You can see their positions and their numbers. And the first penalty of the ball game, personal foul on the offense.
Well, I think they made it offsetting. I think they just they made them offsetting. I think that was more to say, hey, boys, let's play football.
Let's just play.
Yeah.
And, you know, you never know the little intricacies from the season, you know. There still might be some things that players might want to take care of in this game. Let's just put it that way.
Mike Ridnour and Jimmy O'Donnell will take care of that pretty quick. I mean,
2nd and 7 now for the West.
Smith in motion.
And he gets the ball. There's a flag on the play. He's railroaded down behind the line of scrimmage. And don't believe that he got back to the line of scrimmage.
The flag looks like probably a hold. Looks like where it's at.
It's West. Again, Shea came in motion and got the handoff.
Yeah, I think it's a hold right here. I think there's a hold.
And
we'll see.
Again, lost a couple yards on that play.
Well, they're discussing this with the coach, so
how often would you see that in a regular season?
Well, I don't. You know, you might see it, but probably wouldn't be that friendly.
Jimmy O'Donnell, good picture of him coming over and talking either to the other coach and Jim Blickensderfer actually getting in the action.
It might have been an illegal formation, or maybe they're just going to eat the flag and say, you know.
You know what, Kevin? The only rule change in this All-Star game that I'm aware of is the defense can rush 4 guys, and nobody else can cross the line of scrimmage. So I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. Maybe that's why they're talking to the coaches, maybe to clarify that. But officially, there's no blitzing allowed in this All-Star game.
But that's only been a recent. That's only been a recent addition.
Last couple of years.
Yes, that was one of the things that for years that I wasn't at all.
And he is going to pick up the flag.
Loss of 1 on the previous play. 3rd down, 8.
So 3rd down now for the West. They trail the East 7-0. 6:57 to go here in the first quarter. 2 wideouts to the left and 2 to the right. Again, at quarterback for the West is Ryan Lowe. 6'3", 200. That's pretty good size. And we got another flag thrown into the offensive line area. That pass way over the head of the intended receiver. Now you're going to get your holding.
Yeah. And honestly, again, the Williams kid from Coshocton, I think, was open on that. They ran a little undercut route, but they were looking the other way.
So West is moving in the wrong direction. A couple nice plays to get him down to about the 29-yard line of the East. And then all of a sudden, a loss on a play and a penalty. That's a big penalty right there.
Yeah. That's a big one, especially on 3rd down. That's a big one.
Still going to be 3rd down. They got to get all the way to the 19-yard line to pick up the 1st down. The ball marked at the 43. So 3rd down and 24 to go for the West. Wide open receiver out here. And tries to turn it up. Good defense by the East. Receiver was Brandon Adams.
Yeah, I was going to say it was the Adams kid from Riverview again. Got him the football. You know, he's not a real big kid, Willie.
Yeah, Kevin, he was wide open, but the East did a great job of closing in on him after he caught the ball. You see him at the bottom of the screen here. He had plenty of yardage there, but good defense on both these guys' parts. Now 4th down, ball at the 33. You know, they got you know, they got 10 yards out of that play. Manageable at this point in time, but it's 4th and 14, we'll say, for the West, and we got to stop and play here. I think maybe the play clock ran out. So delay a game penalty. And that's exactly what it is. A delay a game moves it back 5 more yards. Just gives them more space to work with. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's amazing. Just like I said before, the fact that we have play clocks now in high school stadiums. And
well, pass out of the flats. That was intended to Brandon Adams. Adams almost looked like it was going to another player.
Yeah,
rather than trying to get to it.
Well, I think it was way over his head. Yeah. I don't think he's a real tall kid. And I think that ball was I don't think he could have got that maybe with a small step ladder, but that looked a little high.
So East is going to take over on downs. They're going to let the two teams go to the sideline for water right now. So it's an official timeout. And, you know, hydration. Get some water in you on a hot night. Beautiful night here at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium. I mean, you know, when I do games from here in the regular season, it's just the view. The pond over there, the lagoon, I guess is what we call it, you know. Just a nice setting.
What kind of caught me pregame, I've never been up here, and when you asked me that one question, I was looking at the lagoon thinking how beautiful it looked, and I was like out in La La Land. So the whole idea of giving them water, though, is so good because these kids – when you say they get 2 weeks of preparation, that's a stretch too. Because honestly, if it storms one night or something, they don't practice, and you know they're going basically in probably shorts and t-shirts most of the time. They're not hitting, and some of these kids are working jobs now, and you know they're not in football shape quite yet. Is my point. So you need to make sure they get plenty of water.
You absolutely do. So we're ready. It's 1st and 10. Ball in the 36 for the East. Handoff, off the right tackle.
Plessinger again.
And it's a couple. Good defense by the West. Actually led in there by M.J. Carey, another Riverview product. You know, schools like Riverview, I mean, they've taken their knocks recently, not winning a lot of games as a squad. But how nice is it for guys like that to come out and play with the talent that's on here and just have fun in an all-star game?
Well, I think that's the misconception is those teams don't have good players. They do. It's just the program's not quite up to speed of some other programs.
Back to passes, Beans. A little pass over the corner.
Jovan Morrow, right?
Yep. Gets it to the 47, 48-yard line. That's going to be real close to that first down. I think one of the coaches on the East is pointing first down. We'll see what Jim Blickensderfer says. He relays to Jim O'Donnell, and Jim O'Donnell says first down.
Yeah, that's another thing. They're not going to do. I mean, no.
Not going to bring those chains
no
over.
Offense. I don't think, unless it's at the end of the game, and if it's close, it's first down. Let's go. Let's play football.
And it is first down. The game of inches. And I guess if you pick up enough first downs, you're eventually going to get down there where you get points. Caleb Beans at quarterback. Plessinger right behind him. He gets the handoff. Across the 50. Just barely into West territory. Pickup of about 3. Brings up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, they're running him a lot.
They are.
And again, there's a kid that, you know, I mean, I don't say this in any derogatory way, but if you're at Dover, you don't hear much about him. You know,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I know his coach, and you know, Dave and I are friends, but you know, it's just one of those things that you don't hear much about those kids unless you read, you see their name in the paper.
I think the East has done a good job mixing it up, passing and running, but they definitely are giving Plessinger the football tonight. 4 minutes to go, first quarter. This time, different running back. It's going to be Cody Hall. Hall from Newcomerstown. Actually, let's go to the right paper. That was John Gray of Claymont. Gray gets it out to the 45-yard line of the West. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3 now for the East squad. Clock continues to run. 3:40 to go first quarter. East leads 7-0. Third down and 3 play for the East. You know, I mean, I didn't know what to expect, Kevin, but I mean, both sides are comfortably full.
It's a nice crowd. I definitely agree. It's a nice crowd.
Long pass that time, way out of bounds.
Yeah, that was one of those, again, trying to little out and get up, but
Mitch Haas, the intended receiver from Malvern, and just overthrew him to the point where he couldn't go any further.
He's a pretty good sized kid too. I mean,
6'3", 185.
On the coverage, pass is incomplete. It's 4th down 3. Timeout. East. Their first timeout.
So the East is going to take a timeout. They got to talk this over with 3:18 to go here in the opening quarter. Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium. East All-Stars leading 7-0.
I don't think this is critical, but I think Coach Henry just wants, you know, again, got everybody looking at the wrist out there. You know, he wants to make sure they get the right play called. You know, you need 3, but it'd be awful nice to get a first down here for them. You know, you get 4 more downs from the 40-yard line, and probably going to go into the first quarter. You're going to go into the lead, and maybe a 2-touchdown lead, and that's pretty big in this game.
And you know, limited practice time. A lot of the game activity probably dictates what they go to. I mean, Plessinger was working, so let's run him. Otherwise, if something else had happened or West was up or whatever, they might be passing more. So you kind of go with what's going in the game, and they've got the lead 7-0. They got the football. And I'm sure they would like to keep control of it right here on 4th and 3 from the West 45-yard line.
So now they're in a much different, you know, double tight, double wing formation. They're going to, looks like they're going to just power the football.
They snapped it directly to Plessinger. He's got the first down and more. Across the 40 to the 39-yard line. Yeah. So they take Beans out, put the beef in there, and Plessinger gets the snap, Kevin, right here.
Yeah, just blocking down 75 Bentley from Carrollton. He pulled and got out there.
That brings up another first down for the East. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line of the West. Beans back at quarterback. Gets a snap, fakes the handoff, throws it down the left side. He's got a receiver. He's there, and down and into the end zone. Touchdown for Brady Byers, 6'4". So they got some height at the wide receivers, Kevin, right here. Nice pass and good catch.
That was Caleb Beans. That's his best throw right there. I mean, the other touchdown was nice, but that was a very, very nice throw. Must be coming back. Sorry.
We'll see what this flag is here on the field. So it's negating the touchdown pass. Jim O'Donnell will tell us here in just a second. In case you can't pick that up on TV, Jim's got a mic that lets everybody in the stadium know what happened. Ineligible receiver downfield, probably one of the linemen.
Yeah, I think I thought he said number 40, but I don't think they have a 40. But somebody was covered. One of the wide receivers was covered, so that makes him ineligible. You know.
So they lost 5 on the play, and a little screen back pass to Jovan Morrow. And he's going to pick up the 5 yards that they lost on the penalty. So he gets it back to the 39-yard line, but that's a big play.
Mick Fischel made a good play there on defense, but no, that's good safe play. And Jovan Morrow is not a typical tight end. He's kind of one of those kids could play wide receiver just as easy, I think.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, you know, about the guys that might go on to college and play. Jovan's one of those guys that does have the size and the ability to do that. We don't have a whole lot of information on who's going to go on and play. Handoff to Plessinger.
Plessinger on the carry.
Plessinger gets it down close to the 35. That's going to bring up A third down play now for the East.
I'm going to say the kids that I know for sure. I know that Philippi is, Luke's going to go. Brady Faust is going to, is going to play. I think Mick's going to try to play. And when I say try to play, don't mean that they can't play. It's just college football is a whole different thing than high school football. You got to get your grades, and most of these kids aren't going to, they're not going to Ohio State or Michigan. They're going, where it becomes a little more of a job.
Mm-hmm. Third down, about 6 now for the East. Beans back to pass. He's going long down the right side. And incomplete. I'll tell you what, though. Pate did a good job of trying to keep pushing the defender off. He knew he had to come back. The ball kind of floated on him and couldn't come up with the reception.
That's what I was going to say. You talk about giving him a little leeway right there. If that was a normal, just a game, there'd be some argument about that. I mean, Pate was definitely trying to gain a little bit of an advantage.
It's going to bring up 4th down now.
Yeah, we're almost done with the quarter, Will. 1:14.
East leading 7-0. They had 1 touchdown called back, but it's 4th and a long 6 for the East. Beans looking over the middle, has a receiver. That's a great catch. Got hit as he was getting the football.
John Gregg, Claymont kid, yeah.
5'10", 150, Claymont product. Beans got good protection, and he fires a rifle right over the middle. When you look at that, Kevin, West, Cody Hall from Newcomerstown actually hit him at the same time the ball got there. Good catch.
Nice, very nice catch by that young man.
Keeps the drive alive. 1st down, and Plessinger gets it once again. Stopped short of the 15, but, man, that's almost 5. It's a good 4 yards on the carry.
I'm a little impressed with this kid. I mean, the first quarter,
4 yards on the play.
He has to have 10 carries already.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of carries. I mean, he's obviously showed him something in camp that he could tote the football.
And we'll total all those stats up and give you the stats at halftime. Beans going for the end zone. He's got a receiver who tried to keep his feet in bounds. Beans just, maybe a little pumped up a little bit. Caleb has been a little long on a couple of them. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Clock stopped with 27 seconds to go on the incomplete pass.
Well, again, these kids don't get the scrimmages. Yeah. When they're running those routes with no pads on, these kids are going a little quicker. In Caleb's defense, they're not getting as free as they would get in practice, and it's a little different speed for him.
So Beans getting set for the 3rd down play. Has to hurry to get the ball to Plessinger. Plessinger hit at the 15, brought down at about the 14-yard line. Kevin, that's going to be it for the first quarter.
Yeah.
When we come back to start the second quarter, East will have it 4th and 4. And East leading 7-0. And we'll have second quarter action for you right after this.
It's the East All-Stars 7, the West All-Stars 0.
Relax, Carlos. With McDonald's, you can afford to win them both over.
Now you can pick up a Big Mac Extra Value Meal with fries and a Coke for just $3.99. So there's plenty of McDonald's love to go around.
Searching for quality bottled water? Call Crystal Springs Water Company. Crystal Springs Water is a family-owned and operated company that's been proudly serving the community since 1986. Crystal Springs offers a quality bottled water in a variety of sizes to suit your everyday needs. They also carry a selection of water coolers, cups, bottle racks, hydro pumps, and premium water softening salts. All available for pickup or delivery. Call Crystal Springs Water Company today.
Willie Grove along with Kevin Keffer in the booth tonight, bringing you all the action on DMG TV2. And Kevin, that pretty nice first quarter for an all-star game. Plessinger doing most of the job for the East.
I mean, Caleb Beans had a couple really nice, obviously had a touchdown called back. He's had a couple nice throws, but yeah, Plessinger's really kind of just taking the load for him.
It's a big fourth down play now, 4th and 4. Beans is going to roll to his right. He's looking, a little dump over the middle, intercepted. Coming back the other way is Cody Hall. Hall's got some running room. Now he runs into a defender at about the 25-yard line, falls forward. So first turnover of the ball game, and guess what? Do we have an official down here with a flag? Kevin, you can look at this. Beans really tried to wait until the receiver opened up and then just kind of dumped it in there.
Grab this microphone.
Probably wishes he had that one back. Yeah.
And I think he's going to get it back. We'll see what this is. Ineligible receiver downfield.
No.
And that's going to be declined. So it is going to be West football.
Well, West will start 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
So again, the interception by Cody Hall gives the ball to the West and keeps East from actually getting the second score.
Yeah, that was the big. Obviously, any turnover is big in a football game, but that's big right there because it certainly looked like they were going to go in and score.
So West on offense. At quarterback now for the West is Derek Horstman. He hands off.
Brandon Adams on the
Random
Adams, okay. Adams picked up about 3. So they switched quarterbacks. Derek Horstman, Tusky Valley product, 6'1", 175. And actually, I think both of them were so equal that Coach John Cox, he said, you know what, I'm going to flip a coin to see who starts. It really doesn't matter. So second quarter starts, and it's going to be Horstman in there. Turns, hands off once again. Ooh, busting through there is pretty quick. Not sure who that was. Is it 45?
Adams, I think it's the kid, Riverview boy. So there's a case right there where you get.
Caleb Verhoeven.
Watch his speed, though. I mean, watch him just turn it on. Once he got through the hole. A lot of quick footwork there, and then boom. Nice cut back. Adams doing a good job.
Yeah, I mean, the two running backs right now, Adams and Plessinger, for both sides are pretty impressive, actually.
Remember, we're going to pick a most valuable player on both teams, offense and defense. Horstman back to pass for the first time tonight. Long pass down the sideline. And it's incomplete. Actually, pretty good defensive position by Nate Shepler of Sandy Valley.
Yeah, that was another one of those ones that
let it go.
That very well could have been offensive interference. I mean, Shepler had actually had the inside position the whole way.
A little hand in the back to maybe make sure he didn't get the interception.
But it's an all-star game, have a little fun.
Incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10 now for the West. Wide receivers both ways, split out to the right is Shea Smith of Dover. He's in motion, and he's going to be a blocker. No, actually Horstman gets brought down.
Caleb Verhoeven.
Maybe should have handed that one off.
I'm thinking that got goofed up somewhere because two guys running by you. Yeah. I don't think that. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but probably not. Two guys aren't going by. He didn't know which one to give the ball to, I don't think.
It's a big loss. It's about 5 yards in the wrong direction. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 15 now for the West. Just about 2 minutes gone here in the second quarter. East leads 7-0. Horstman fires it out to the left flats. Caught by Adams. Adams tried to get a little extra yards.
Nate Scheffler made the tackle.
Got almost half of it.
Yeah, I still think they're going to have to punt. I mean, they don't have to punt, but certainly should punt.
Gain of 10, it's 4th down 5.
Wholesale substitutions, Kevin, so you probably expect them to punt. And let's see.
Ring. Along with Logan
Danny
Bryant,
March
needs to return.
of Strasburg maybe is the punter. Line drive, hits it at 25. Good bounce for the West. All the way down to about the 13. And we're going to have another flag.
That's one of those things, just like they're the kicking thing. Willie, every team has their own punter, but when you're picking an all-star team, you're not picking a punter necessarily. So you better hope you get somebody that,
can at least advance it the other direction.
Because that's a big weapon.
And you know what? It's down inside the 15, so they got good results out of it.
Well, it was personal foul in the West, though. That's going to be 15 yards more, so it's going to bring it out probably 32, 33-yard line, I think.
East leading 7-0.
45 of it, kicking team. It's only like 15 yards. What's that?
On the Hensel boy?
Get it?
55, right? Evan
Yeah.
Hensel.
So once again, East with the football. It's going to be 1st and 10 after the penalty, out close to the 18-yard line.
Greg Cunningham on the carry.
Cunningham, almost.
Brady Faust just about at him.
But you know what? He slowed him up enough that his helper on defense finished him off. Just a pickup of 1, 2nd and 9 for the East. They're holding up numbers in case you wonder at home. So somebody on the sidelines got some numbers up, and all the players are wearing wristbands, and they look to see what that play is. And quarterback now is David Miser, Harrison Central. I walked beside him, and, man, I looked up at him. He's 6'4", 215.
Mitchell Meeks made the tackle.
Out to the 35.
And that little screen, that little inside screen.
And, just into the game, Miser just throwing a nice little short pass to get warmed up.
Gain of 6, it's 3rd down 3.
So 3rd down and 3 now. 8 minutes to go here before halftime. Miser again under pressure. He's going to tuck it. He's going to run. Up the middle, got to the 40. He's got the first down. Kind of sidestepped a couple guys, but able to pick up that first down. Kevin, walk us through it.
Well, I'm just, anytime you're going to run these kind of offense, if the quarterback can run the football, it's so much more of a problem for the defense, because here comes this kid, you're not accounting for him, and he finds a little seam there. Well, you see what he could do right there. If you have a little bit of speed and a little bit of savvy, you get up through there. And especially when they're not stunting, so there's a certain amount of holes are going to be open.
Miser's back to pass. He's going long down the right side.
Got
That's
a guy
nice
open.
Pass. And it's caught and brought down inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line.
Raffini. Yeah.
Big play for the East once again. Kevin, take us through it.
That's a heck of a throw, Willie. That's a long throw. Well, he throws it from his 32-yard line. He throws it from his 32.
The East has it 1st and 10
And
on the
he
West
catches it on the
16-yard line.
20.
Almost 20.
20-yard line. You're talking a 50-yard throw. That's a long way. That's a pretty good toss.
And it was a nice spiral, too.
That's a pretty good.
Well, it's 1st and 10 from inside the 20. East on the move again. They lead 7-0. Handoff.
Greg Cunningham.
Cunningham from Philly. His uncle played in this game
Mick Fishel.
back in one of the very first ones, maybe first or second game.
Dylan Stevens in on the tackle.
His Uncle Jeff would have played in this game. I coached his Uncle Jeff at Central Catholic, and
Gain of 3,
he played in
2nd
the
down
game.
7.
That's why I was all for you doing this game with me. You know why? You're a historian also.
Yeah.
Aren't you a history teacher back in the day?
I was, yeah.
Gotcha. 2nd and 7 for the East. Miser's got to roll out of the pocket. He's going to fire into the end zone and incomplete.
David Miser's pass intended for Alan Raffini.
Pretty good coverage. I mean, you know what? The defenders are doing a pretty good job on the receivers tonight.
It's not.
Third down.
The coverage has been good both ways.
Yep.
The thing I'm impressed with right there, the Miser kid, again, not a boy we wouldn't see him play. Well, I mean, Harrison Central, unless the one year we did see him in the playoffs, but he throws a nice ball. He got a nice arm. You know, you see their name, like I said, in the paper maybe, or you read a little story, but you don't know much about him, and he's pretty impressive.
3rd and 7 now. Miser again under pressure. He's rolling to his left. Throw, got a touchdown.
22. John Gray.
John Gray.
So David Miser into the game, threw a touchdown pass. You know, going to his left, he didn't get a real good
wasn't his best
ball.
throw, wasn't his best throw, but what he did was he got himself an alley to see.
You see it right here.
Right there, he's outrunning Brady Faust.
That's tough for a right-hander to throw across like that. And there you go. So we're going to see the extra point attempt by Connor Cool. He's from Indian Valley. Kick is up. Looks pretty good from here, and it is a good kick.
Kick is good.
So now it's 14-0. East up with 6:29 left in the first half.
Yeah, that was a very impressive scoring drive with a great throw on that 50-yard completion by the Miser boy.
Yeah, and again, John Gray was the receiver.
Yeah.
Please meet at the band shelter at halftime for your photograph.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You got to be appreciative of Hank Keithley and Roger Metzger and the Times Reporter crew. I mean, bringing this together, it just doesn't happen. There's a lot of work, and it gives us fans a chance to see some of the guys that you read the names in the paper. You know, like you were saying, Harrison Central. We don't see a whole lot of Ridgewood, Riverview, you know. Just good to see them and kind of showcases them out here in front of a really nice crowd.
Well, those 5 years when I was at Garaway, obviously I saw the kids from the IVC a lot more, and I didn't see these other kids. But, you know, you just, there's talent on every team. Well, yeah, it's just not, it may not be as deep, and like I said, the program may not be quite to the same level.
And you know
but
what,
kids
to be
can
honest,
play football.
Yeah, to be honest, you need 11 guys to make yourself look good. It's a team sport. And so now they get to come out and like we say, showcase. 14-0, 6:29 to go before halftime. East leads, and they're kicking off to the west. Down the left side, goes out of bounds. We should see a flag. Kevin, the receiving team has a choice here?
Yes. You can take the ball right there. You can have them re-kick. Normally, like that, I'm just going to take the ball probably. I mean, there may be a time in a game where you might want them to re-kick it if you had thought you could gain some advantage from it, or their kicker's just real bad, might kick it out of bounds a second time. But in an all-star game, you're just going to take the ball.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the West now. They trail 14-0.
Can't panic though, Will. Can't panic. Not in this game. Not now. You get yourself in trouble here.
So we'll see what the West does. Trailing 14-0. They still got 6:29 to go before halftime. Horseman gets a nice block and throws it long. He's got a receiver. Oh,
great catch!
What a catch! One-handed.
It's the Coshocton boy again. It's
Cody Williams. And boy, I tell you, Kevin, if we got this one on replay, I want you to take this one.
You can't see the route he's running right there. I mean, I was looking more in the backfield, but what a nice one-handed catch. I mean, he just reaches out and pulls that ball in by himself. I mean, nice throw, but the receiver there makes that play.
1st and 10, West on the move. Big play with about 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Horseman at quarterback still. This time hands off. Guy coming up the middle is Landry Hostetler. Hostetler from Strasburg picks up the
Earl
first down for the
Street made
West.
tackle.
And that's pretty good size, 6'1", 175 for Hostetler.
These kids are, yeah, they're a little bigger than when we were down the field. There were some of those kids a little bigger than I would have thought, they were going to be.
So West 1st and 10, 2 first downs in a row. Ball resting at the 15 of the East. Horstman turns, hands off.
Oh, big hole, big hole.
Plessinger, one guy to beat. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, West. That's actually
15 yards for the West touchdown.
Brandon Adams with the football. Boy, when he saw the opening, he didn't take much time to get through it, did he?
Well, the fullback, number 16. Not a great block by Hostetler, but good enough to get the job done.
So Adams into the end zone, touchdown West, just like that now. They get the score back and see if they can put the extra point.
Cole Bittercoffer will hold. Tristan Durr.
Yeah.
Will attempt the point after touchdown.
I think Tristan Durr's who kicked off, too. We kind of said one.
Straight on kick, and it's through.
You
don't see that much anymore.
I was thinking, boy, that.
How many kids today, if you said Lou Groza, or if you said Dempsey, remember Dempsey?
How about George Blanda?
George Blanda.
I mean, I don't want to.
Kicked in, played quarterback.
Yeah.
I think we're dating ourselves.
Yeah, we are really. Huh?
5:35 to go before half. West cuts the lead to 7. East up 14-7.
But you know what, Will? Like for schools like Dover and New Philly that have soccer programs, and you have these kids that kick that way, that's been a big change in how people look at kicking. Where if you're at a smaller school, it's a lot easier to teach a kid to give him a square-toed shoe and say, do it that way. Now, his distance is going to be limited, but his accuracy and for extra points and things should be pretty good. And that's the, there's the differences. You don't see many sidewind kids. Now Coshocton has it. They have a soccer program. Riverview has a soccer program. West Holmes does. Dover, Philly. But the smaller schools don't have that. Newcomerstown. And so guess what? He's learned to kick because it's easier to teach him. Keep your head down and kick it through.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I'm not sure. Is that Mr. America or somebody dressed up tonight in the crowd as part of our fan cam? Our fan cam actually brought to you by Woods Tall Timber Resort for these interesting fan shots we'll see throughout tonight's game. We can thank the folks at Woods Tall Timber Resort. Kicking off for the West, Tristan Durr from Newcomerstown. Very high, taken at the 29-yard line by the East and brought down. How about that? A couple of tornadoes there, Kevin.
Yep.
Mick Fischel.
Mick and Stevens, Dylan, both are on that one.
Start 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line.
Now, like when you were talking soccer and football, is it a give and take? I mean, it's accepted. If you've got soccer players, football coach can ask them to come kick, and the soccer coach says that's fine.
Again, I can't speak for every school, but in Dover, yes, that's how it's been, and that's been a plus, I think.
Oh, I do too. Wow, nobody really had a handle, but coming out with it is the East, and this is Greg Cunningham. Cunningham all the way down inside the 25, and Kevin, quarterback didn't have a handle on it, running back didn't have a handle on it, but Cunningham somehow kept the ball moving forward until he could grab it. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that this young man's a sprinter. He's a track kid too, so if he does get out, he can go.
And you see it right there.
Yeah, he's covering some ground right there.
Back to play now as we have Miser rolling
Touchdown.
out. Fires to the end zone. And almost getting the football was the intended receiver that time for East.
Horseman?
Logan Ryan. Was that 19? Yes.
Oh, I thought, okay.
So Ryan from Indian Valley brings up 2nd down and 10 on the incomplete pass. Miser still in there for the East at quarterback. Some big plays in this game, but that's what you expect with All-Stars.
I think that's what should happen.
This time, handoff. Cunningham once again get cut down at the line of scrimmage.
I think that's helped the game, Willie, the throwing the football. Because 37 years ago, you know what we did? We ran it off tackle, ran a sweep here and there, threw the ball maybe 15, 16. Art Tanner probably threw it more than anybody, probably 20 times a game, but still, not seeing that now. You're going to see a wide-open football game.
It's going to be 3rd and 5 now for the East. Fumble. Miser decides to sort of let the player get down on M.J. Carey.
M.J. Carey
recovers the fumble. I just didn't think that maybe Miser wanted to get in that tussle with Carey right here. Because he knew the handoff wasn't good, and then he just kind of. So Carey, good hustle for the West.
Yeah, I don't know the Miser boy very well, but he didn't look like he wasn't going to just.
It's an all-star game.
He wasn't going to just go diving in there for that one. He didn't drop it.
No. 4:41 to go before halftime. West now. They scored last. They trail 14-7. So let's see if the West can do something before halftime.
Brandon Adams on a carry.
I'll tell you what, if they could get down there and get a score, that would be big.
Jim Blickensdorfer threw his flag over here closest to us, Kevin. So he's communicating out there with Jim O'Donnell. So we do have a flag on the play, and I think it's going to go against the offense.
Yeah, legal procedure.
Now, yep, that's exactly what it is.
And that's the thing right there. You're going to have some of that. You're going to have kids lining up, not getting all lined up right, especially the wide receivers. If they're not used to having 3 or 4 guys out there with them.
Mm-hmm. We'd be amiss if we didn't announce Jim O'Donnell is our referee. Mike Rittenauer is the umpire. Steve Rippeth, linesman. Line judge Jim Blickensdorfer. Matt Motes and Chuck Cather are the side judges, and the back judge is Nick Pryor. High snap, Horseman brings it down. Sets his feet, passes, gets it out to the 25-yard line. So got back to the original line of scrimmage. Still going to bring up 2nd down and 10 now. So pick up a 5 on the pass.
They always take the young official, by the way, and put him back there deep. They make Nick Pryor go back there and run, He knows the older guys don't go back there.
Yeah. I think they've been here before. Horseman in the shotgun. 3.5 minutes now, second quarter. And the handoff.
Landry Hostetler.
Hostetler.
Devin Bailey made the tackle.
Gets it out almost to the 29-yard line. Pickup of about 4. So it's going to be 3rd down and 6.
This is one of this again. They converted this last time. Well, this would be a. I don't know who.
We'll see. I think Adams may be still back there. We've got a whistle. Looks to me like West might be taking a timeout. So West has taken a timeout. East has taken one. So, big 3rd down play. I mean, forget all the hoopla and all the pregame stuff. I mean, once you make that first hit in tonight's game, this is a football game. These guys are coming out. The coaches want to win. Players are hitting hard. I mean, it's a real game, Kevin. So timeout, talk it over. They'd like to tie it up before halftime.
Well, and I agree with all that, but the coaches don't want the kids to get embarrassed either. And you're trying to think you're going to call something pretty cute. Well, they're going to get screwed up. You know what? So you better call them over. I mean, Coach Henry did that when he went double tight, double wing, and on that big 4th down call, he called timeout because you want to make sure they get lined up right. They know what you're doing, so that you don't fool them, because that's the last thing you want to do too.
Yep. We want to remind everybody that tonight's game replays is brought to you by Bernai's Italian Deli and Cafe, located at 222 Logan Street in Denison, Ohio. If you're looking for some of the best Italian sandwiches and deli food in the area, visit Bernai's Italian Deli and Cafe. Now, Kevin, you and I, we could go off on our Twin City heritage.
If you don't know where that is, call me and I'll take you down.
You know what? As a little kid, I would walk past there to go to Alfano's. Do you remember Alfano's?
Mm-hmm. Alfano's was across the track, though. You had to cross the track to go to Alfano's.
I did. I was one that lived across the track.
Oh,
nice pass.
Shea Smith.
Smith got the reception. First down, needed to get to the 35, and got to about the 37. So you see where Horseman had to buy himself some time. He had to get out of the pocket, and Kevin?
Again, he did a nice job. Shea came back to this. I think, again, wasn't looking right at him, but he did look, got himself out there and just slid across in front of him. So he shows him, gives him his number, shows him he's open. That's what you want. You just want to get the first down. You don't have to go 20 yards. Just get past those sticks.
Still have 2.5 minutes before halftime to get that score. High snap. Again, Horseman does a great job of getting it. Adams, man, he's quick through that hole. Right to midfield. Good pickup. Another first down.
Myers made the tackle.
Again, the running backs have really been impressive.
First down.
I mean, the Cunningham kid for the East and Plessinger and the Adams boy, they've had some nice runs, some good quick speed.
So 1st and 10 for the West. You can see they trail 14-7, but a big fumble recovery, and John Cox, he's excited about this game and he's pretty serious about it, so he's going to use his second timeout. Kevin, he's got one left here in the first half, but clock was moving, maybe just to stop the clock, save some time. You got to use those timeouts.
Well, he ran the one kid on late too, and again, back to that, going to get in there and going to get a penalty, and that's the last thing he don't want to go backwards now. He's at the 50-yard line. He's got a chance to tie this thing up before halftime.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so rule changes for this year. Do we get to run the clock if the point spread is so
I knew you were
many?
I knew you were going to put me on the spot. I actually have it taped on my board at school, so that we can make up a thing to put in the press box.
Okay.
And please, I'll say this and be wrong, but I believe it's 40. I think if the point spread is 40 or more, then the clock runs continuously. Okay, and anytime it goes underneath 40, then immediately, like if it goes to 38, bang, then you're back to stopping it on those. But we have I have that to type up a thing and put it up for the clock operators. Yes, but that is the one thing.
Back to play here. Horseman, he's got a wide open receiver over the middle. Nice reception. That time Williams.
Cody Williams is
he's a good target. And you can see this pass right over the middle. Williams picking up a big play for the West once again.
And it's kind of a skinny post. He just gets behind him just enough, but he's got nice hands. He's made a couple big plays. He's right up there on my book in the first half for
one of those MVPs in the game. 1st and 10 for the West. Ball at about the 27. Maybe just a little quick on the draw.
I thought he was going to call procedure on the offense because it looked like the left tackle moved me, but he called offsides on the defense.
Yeah, somebody had like a running start. Looked like he might have got there about the same time.
Dead ball. 21 defense. 5-yard penalty.
Sorry, encroachment. There's the old guy coming out.
Going to use offsides.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Brings up 1st and 5 after the penalty. Minute 36 to go before halftime. West doing their best to try to tie this up or go ahead. Horseman at quarterback. Little delay, handoff.
Landry Hostetler
and Hostetler fighting, but he's not going to go anywhere.
A little bit of a draw there or delay of some kind, but really didn't fool anybody.
Kevin West is going to use their last timeout, so.
This is interesting, by the way. You realize that Javon Morrow's now, he's playing on both sides of the ball. He's playing on offense and defense. I mean, I don't know, maybe there are some other kids. I just really recognize him.
Mm-hmm.
But
stay with us at halftime, folks, as we have our halftime report. It's brought to you by Bell Stores, with 4 convenient locations to better serve you in Dover, Bolivar, New Philadelphia, and Strasburg. Stop in at your local convenient Bell store and make sure your family is running on full for the second half. And we'll have some numbers for you at halftime, some updates. A little strange we can't give you any score updates of other games in the area. This is where it's happening tonight. This is it. How about a little instructing there on the sideline?
That's it. Sorry, I was watching the monitor. It was kind of cute, you know. Just coaching them up.
And I think a lot of it had to do with position and footwork. Second down and about 5 for the West. More importantly, they've used their 3rd timeout here in the first half. They got minute 25 to get it into the end zone. Going down deep on the right side. Intercepted.
Brady Byers. I just looked at his number, Will.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? I'm telling you, we did a playoff game or 2 of Indian Valleys, and that was the first exposure I had to Brady Byers this year. He's probably on my top 3 list of the best athletes this year that I witnessed in a football game.
There was such a mismatch physically is why I looked, because the wide receiver and please like.
He's allowed 1st and 10 on their own 1
Look at that.
yard
He just kind of played center field there and went up and got the football.
Number
so
2, Bidikoffers, 5'10", and
yeah.
He's I think I looked. He's 6'2", 6'3". You know, I mean, there's a lot of difference there. You're going to try to throw that kind of a route over his head.
Yeah. Byers with the interception. And what the West has to be careful here is a big play right here to really turn the tide. They were going in to score to tie the game, and now they're hoping that the last 1:19 of the first half runs out. East just going to bring it up the middle and going to the locker room with a 14-7 lead.
Yeah. Get you back to the, you know,
2 at 2nd down 8.
The centers have done a great job on both teams tonight. You know, with that, you know, you get that one-handed snap. I mean, those kids got it down pretty good now, but still, you're down here in the end zone. That gets a little bit, you don't want to be bobbling it around down there too much.
Taking time off the clock. 45 seconds to go in the first half. 12 seconds on the play clock. Oh, did we get one? Did he get? Oh, he said he got to the end line. Oh. Well, Jim O'Donnell has the best view right there, but I'm just telling you, man.
Maybe we could see that on. Could we see that on a replay?
Oh, that'd be a great replay right there. They say his momentum got him back to the 1-foot line. It's going to bring up 3rd down. East, they're taking their good old time because they definitely don't want any more time left on the clock. But you know what? They didn't even start the play clock. So that's going to be it for the first half, Kevin. Very entertaining game.
Yeah.
7-point lead for the East. Anything could happen in the second half. Don't go away. Halftime we'll have the first half numbers for you as part of our Bellstones halftime report. Come back and join us in just a few moments.
You can create a lasting legacy with a gift to the Tuscarawas County Community Foundation. It provides a safe, trustworthy, philanthropic choice for your estate planning needs. Through the generosity of area residents, the foundation has been able to provide nearly $5 million in funding for a variety of community projects and student scholarships that have positively impacted each corner of our county. Help your community by making a tax-deductible donation to the Tuscarawas County Community Foundation today.
Hi, I'm Elaine Miller with Naturally Green Cleaning Service. My company serves both commercial and residential clients. We do general cleaning, spring and fall, empty homes to get them move-in ready, and final cleans for new construction. We use eco-friendly cleaning products that leave your home or office fresh, clean, and safe for you, your family, pets, or coworkers. Our focus at Naturally Green is to provide excellent customer service paired with outstanding work to build a relationship of trust with you, our clients. Having served the area 4+ years, we have had many referrals and testimonials that you can access on our website at www.naturallygreencs.com. Our work sells itself, therefore we have never had any contracts even with our largest commercial accounts. Call us today for your free quote and see what makes our company stand out.
Hi, I'm 1450 WJER's Bill Morgan, inviting you to join me on television Wednesday evenings at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 for TV2 Sports Talk. Sports Talk is your weekly look inside high school football, volleyball, soccer, and more. Look for guest appearances from your favorite area coaches and players. TV2 Sports Talk, Wednesday evenings at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 on DMG Channel 2 on Time Warner Cable.
And we're at halftime. We welcome you back to Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium as we are in the midst of our 37th annual Times Reporter Charity All-Star Game. And that dates all the way back to 1978. I'm with Kevin Keffer tonight, and this is Willie Grove. And Kevin, when I say 1978, I think you really remember that night.
Yeah,
or parts of it, anyways.
Yeah, well, that was the first. That was my first year of coaching. Well, it's probably my second year actually, but I think my first football season was '77, so it would have been '78. So it was probably that's first season. Yeah, long time ago.
And at halftime, the East is leading 14-7 as we pull up our.
And you know how that's changed, Willie, just for a laugh, the light poles at New Philadelphia used to be, if you remember, on the field. And there used to be a thing, there was like a little cage on the one where you had to go up and scout. Art kind of tried to get me, God rest his soul, tried to get me to go up there, and I said, there's no chance I'm going up there. You can't make me, and I'm not going.
Oh my, those were the days. Our Bell Stores halftime report. We'll take a look at the team totals from the first half here at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium. And the West trailing the East, and the numbers really show it, Kevin. I mean, when you look at 120 yards rushing to 64, passing yard, West has passed more. East leading, but they've got the 2 turnovers.
That's the big stat there, I think, is that 2 in the turnover category, because the one turnover came on a drive that looked like they were going to go up 14-0, and they got intercepted there. I think the Gray boy, I think kid from Claymont made the interception, and that was big.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it wouldn't have been that. That isn't right. I know it wouldn't have been him because he's on the East squad, but you know what I'm talking about. It was a turnover, and that was huge.
It was a big stop because East could have went up even more than they are right now. And out of that rushing, the West, they're led in rushing here at halftime. Adams has 6 carries for 56 yards. And how about Williams? 3 catches for 84 yards.
Yeah, the 2 guys right now that are really doing the majority of it for them, are those 2 kids right there.
And then the East, they're led by Caleb Beans, 6 of 14 in the first half for 60 yards passing. And Miser, he was 3 of 5 for 65 yards passing. So again, the passing game of the East. How about Plessinger? 10 carries for 62 yards here at halftime.
Right. Yeah, well, of course, his first 2 carries were for, I think he had 20-plus yards in his very first 2 he touched the ball. But still, he had 60 yards, rushing. You're not expecting to see kids rush the ball in this game, for those kind of yards.
Yeah, I think talking to John Cox again before the game, one of the things he used the term beef. The big guys coming in, they've had all summer to sit around. They're probably not in as good a shape as they were in football season, but for some reason they're either able to open up them holes for the running game, or those running backs are really just being too quick and getting by the defensive line.
I think it's always a little bit of both, but the kids that are good blockers are good blockers. I mean, yeah, they're not in as good a shape as they were, but by the same token, if they didn't forget how to ride a bike. They know how to block. They can get out there. I think one of the things is the kids. Every year there's some kids you don't get to see for a lot of reasons. Some kids that are going on to college, their coaches don't want them to play in these kind of games. They don't want a chance of an injury and those kind of things. But for Jamal, not missing him in this game, that's too bad. That injury, or he had that surgery for the injury. Back I think in probably February, he had his surgery, but he's just now recovering to the point he's getting ready to play college football, and he's not going to take a chance on injuring himself tonight.
And how about that first All-Star game? We were talking about it in 1978. You were right, my partner. Tom Redmond coached the West from Dover, and Jim Roman coached the East from New Philadelphia. How about that?
That's how I remembered it, but I wouldn't have bet a lot of money on that. But yeah,
let's give them the West coaching staff. We haven't done that yet. Nick Metzger, Mike Winland, Curtis Metzger, Brock Lowry, head coach John Cox, and Andy Cregan. And I believe all of those guys are on head coach John Cox's coaching staff at Strasburg.
Probably that's anymore. In the old days, Willie, all the head coaches coached. Like they became and took a job, kind of like the baseball All-Star game, but they got out of that back in the 80s, where you basically bring your own staff, and you can bring a guy or two if he wants to come and help you. But the reality was the other coaches didn't want to be away from their teams, putting up, doing those kind of things. The East squad, Reverend Mark Unruh, Frank Golick, Don Ferguson, Dwayne Finley, Zach Golick, Lucas Grove, Eric Henry, head coach, Cody Granison, and Scott Boffman. That's the East squad. And like I said, some of those guys I taught with Fergie for many years, and I coached Eric. Those are,
Of course, Eric's dad, Ed Henry, you're pretty close to him nowadays.
Yep.
And
coached for and with Ed. Yeah.
And Kevin, I guess as I'm looking at the Dover schedule, now last year, many folks realize that, I do games for Dover Tornadoes on WJR radio, and when I mention, Fitch, Canfield, Zanesville, Marietta, all those trips in one season, you were not friendly with me last year at all, making me go to those places and drive to do those games. But somehow you are making up for it this year. Tell us how you got 7 home games.
That's certainly not magic. That's more
just out of necessity.
Yeah, that's
filling dates.
Yeah, you know what? And every once in a while you can arrange that. The reality is our league now, when our league has, pardon me, we only have 5 league games. So honestly, Ed Leggett to tell you that makes it awful tough on schools like Dover and Philly to find all those dates. But what you do is you kind of wheel and deal, and you make some changes. And
yeah. And you know what, Kevin? I mean,
I was looking, by the way. I didn't know that was in here, but I looked, and the second year was Ward Holsworth and Art Tyner, and that would have been, yeah. And then Joey Fergas was the MVP, but the first year Chris Hensel was the MVP. Back then they only picked 2.
Is that right?
And Nicky Cugliari, who played at Tusky Valley and went on to play at Dayton and played very well at Dayton.
Mm-hmm. You had the view there as we're getting ready for the second half, the kickoff. East kicks to the west. And that ball's still bouncing down around the 10, finally picked up by a West player. And juking his way up the sideline. Adams, number 45. And Kevin, we wanted to mention there right before the kickoff of the second half, you saw a lot of green shirts. And those green shirts, there's over 200 people here in the stadium. And we'll get some pictures of them later on in the second half. But Ethan Grant has been diagnosed with cancer and has been undergoing chemo treatment. Had a clearance by the doctor to play in tonight's game. And over 200 people have bought those shirts that say Team Ethan and come to this game.
Yeah, that's honestly that's very impressive. That's what it's about. Let's be honest. That's truly what it's about, and it's nice to see that the people from I'm sure they're mostly Twin City people, doing that for him.
The carry was by Shea Smith of Dover for the West squad. Carried it about 3 yards. Going to be second down and 7. Ball to 25-yard line. West trailing by 1 touchdown right now. At quarterback for the West is Ryan Lowe. Lowe hands off.
That was Adams, yeah, again.
Might have got 2, Kevin. That's probably about the extent of that carry. Going to bring up third down and 5.
He's been their workhorse.
Gain of 2, third down 5.
Ryan Lowe, he quarterbacked the first quarter. Horseman came in the second quarter for the West. Lowe was 2 of 3 for 34 yards in the passing department. Big third down play to start the second half. Off to Lowe's right is Adams. Boy, Lowe got hit, and we got a flag out here. Maybe a premature hit on the receiver.
Yeah, I think Claymont kid just they got tangled up as much as anything, but you
get the call from Jim O'Donnell.
Defense, 15 yards, touchdown.
That's a big play to help here in the second half for sure. 15-yard penalty.
Jimmy O'Donnell's been doing this a long time, by the way.
Yeah.
I bet, I know I've probably asked him this, but I bet Oka's been doing this for 35 years. He's one of those guys from the Twin Cities that got into it because of Joe Pangrazio Sr. and
I remember
and Poe Gerwin and all those guys.
Yeah. It was Jim Pocock, wasn't it? Another flag. Pass, it's complete. First down unless they're bringing it back.
To Cody Williams.
Almost to the 48 of the East.
Trainer made the tackle. Flag on the play.
Cody Williams, not a big catch. I don't know if it's going to stand or not, but.
Yeah, Cody Williams, he had a great first half, only 3 catches, but it went for 84 yards.
Yeah.
Illegal formation.
Yeah, it's going to bring it back.
That one catch, that one-handed one was.
That was big time.
Yeah, you see those kind of catches, and you just.
Doing a lot of the Dover games, I saw maybe a couple of those out of Corey Contini last year. You just shake your head and go, how did he do that?
Well, I said the one against Zanesville.
Uh-huh.
The one against Zanesville, that if you showed that to anybody, they'd go, wow.
Loss of 5. Of course, they had to pick up a 10. That one's going to float on him, and it went over the head of the intended receiver. That's going to bring up third down and 15 now for the West.
He's lucky he got away with that one.
Uh-huh. I don't think the East defenders really had their eye on the quarterback or the ball. They were watching the receivers. Otherwise, there's 2 guys that could have got to that one.
Well, I think sometimes when the ball's that much overthrown, you're just not ready for it to be overthrown that far. I mean, that was just, he just lost it.
Well, we called third down, but I think they had the down over on the penalty, so it's going to be 2nd and 15 for the West. A little bit of a mix-up. Finally, I think it was Adams that got it. Picked up a couple. Now it's going to bring up third down, and let's call it 13 maybe. 13 or 12. Our good friend Ed Marsh on the PA system here.
Have to give Eddie the tip. You know, he's pretty on that stuff.
We don't want to disagree with him.
No,
that's for sure.
Heavens no.
Low at quarterback. He's got to pick up at least 12. Hands it off. Adams is not going to get it. Got back within the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to bring up 4th down and about 9. Probably a punting situation.
Yeah, I think they decided there not to get.
Gain of 3, 4th down 9.
It surprised me a little bit. I thought they'd throw the ball, but.
Yep. March will punt.
Turned out to be a nice night for football, Kevin. I mean, the temperature's dropping down just to where it's comfortable.
It's really beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
You'd like it to be like this almost any night.
MJ Carey, the punter, product of Riverview.
John Gray on return.
Gray, hard to bring down, finally does.
Mick Fischel.
Go down.
Along with Luke Filippi and Mitchell Meeks in on the tackle.
Sir, Mick's name's been called a couple times. I mean, you know, he's one of those kids. He did a lot of that even, you know, in high school, covering punts, covering kicks.
Yep. And you got to figure some of these guys probably were never on that special teams because they were the key running back, the key quarterback, whatever. So in an all-star game, they're getting a chance to go down the field and make a tackle in the open field. East with it. They've got the lead 14-7, 8:40 to go.
Ryan, the ball carrier.
Third quarter.
Logan Ryan.
Little
jet sweep.
That's a pretty good pickup. A little bit over 5 yards, maybe 6. Bring up 2nd and 4 now for the East.
Gain of 6, 2nd down 4.
In the shotgun. Back to pass now for the East.
Ooh.
Trey Tucci of Malvern.
Trey Tucci on the carry.
Tucci gets it out. I think his last effort there got him the first down.
Just got away from Brady Faust.
And then East 1st down.
Yep, they're going to move the chains. So the third quarterback of the night, Trey Tucci. And Kevin, you see, really didn't have anybody to hit downfield, so he had to do it himself.
Saw Brady Faust break down there and try to get him squared up, but Tucci just good enough athlete to make him miss.
Tucci throws the out pass, and really no receiver in the area. Morrow, I think, was intended to go there, but kind of got.
Yeah, that was just that's one of those ones. That timing things just not quite there.
Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10 now. Ball at the 40-yard line.
And that's what Eric Henry was saying before the game. He has all these quarterbacks. It's like, you know, you're trying to get them all in there and get them all to play, but that's tougher too because everybody's going to throw it a little different. A little timing's going to be a little different.
So Tucci now with the man in motion. He hits the man in motion. That's Mark Barrow.
Trey Tucci passes complete to Mark Barrow
of New Philadelphia. Barrow. Good defense by the West squad. Lehman.
Along with Jordan Mills and Mick Fischel in on the tackle.
With a couple of Dover players.
3rd down 5.
Now there's quite a few of them out there on defense.
Yeah, there is. So the East itself has a 3rd down play.
Yeah, this is a big play right here, Willie.
I agree with that. Tucci rolls to his right, passes. That's a good job. Boy, the receiver, Brady Byers. Did you see Byers step back to the ball?
He got back. He did that thing. You got to come back, give your quarterback a chance. It's just, you're not going to be open just running down the field all the time.
I mean, for younger players, it's like in basketball. You got to come meet the ball. If he doesn't, this ball's knocked down. He stepped back in front of the defender to make the reception.
Yep.
1st down, good play. Tucci to Byers. Handoff. Again, Barrow taking it off the left end. Pickup of about 6.
Yeah, he made something out of that.
Luke Filippi along with Jordan Mills in on the tackle.
Now I'm thinking Barrow for New Philadelphia played a lot of defensive end or
well, he didn't carry the ball.
He didn't carry much.
He didn't carry the ball, I can tell you that.
He's having some fun tonight, isn't he? Give me the ball, Coach.
He might have touched on scout team, but he didn't carry it in the game much.
I wonder what Coach Dennison's thinking up there as he's part of the team on the WJER radio broadcast with Denny. I'm just thinking maybe Barrow's saying, Coach, see what I could have done?
I don't know. You're talking about he had the bad luck of playing behind, the 7th all-time leading rusher in the state of Ohio?
Yeah.
Yep. You'd be pretty talented, but Jamal was in a class, he carried it a bunch of times, but he's a tough rascal.
We've got 3rd down and 9 now for the East. Tucci to pass, he loses the football. It's loose, picked up by an East lineman, and the end result is he's going to pick up a yard. So Sam Shook got his carry tonight.
Gains a yard, it's 4th down 8.
Another New Philadelphia product.
Tucci lost a handle on it twice.
Yeah.
I mean, not completely, but just.
4th down and 8. Ball at the 43.5-yard line. East is going to have to take a timeout because they're not, we got an equipment as one lineman is.
You wonder like
helmet.
Tucci might be one of those quarterbacks that, how Dover does it on occasion. He might be able to punt too. I mean, you don't know that, but wouldn't be surprised if he kicks it.
Yep, you called it. That's going to hit and go out of bounds inside the 10, so that's a pretty good punt.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't be surprised. You spent some time with Coach Eric Henry before the game. I think that's probably some of that stuff that you remembered.
Well, you know what? You're going to run that offense. That's one of the big advantages of the spread. Basically it's no different. It's not a whole lot different than a single wing back in my day. And Ward Horsworth ran out here at Philly, ran it at Newcomerstown, but probably the greatest one was one of his disciples that ran it at Zanesville when Buster Howell was down there, and that's the can punt it, throw it, do whatever you want.
West
That's
Adams right up the middle. Adams might have picked up 10.5 yards, 1st down. See if they move those chains. Yep, I think they will.
Yeah.
So 1st down for the West. The West needs to put something together here, Kevin. They trail 14-7. Definitely not out of this game. 4.5 minutes to go 3rd quarter.
Not even close to out of it.
No.
Could be, but they're not.
Ryan Lowe at quarterback from Ridgewood.
Brandon Adams on the carry.
It's Adams again.
Yep.
Devin
you go back to talking about programs, Kevin, and just the area teams. And it's no surprise or no shock that the teams that have the most success are the coaches that have been there the longest. I mean, it goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
There is no replacement for longevity. No, you just.
Low with the ball, hands it off once again.
I think you could say that.
Brandon Adams on the carry.
Dave Tucci stayed at Malvern, back to Malvern, stayed there for 10 or 12 years as the head coach. I mean,
3, it's 3rd down 5.
Coach Wallach in Garraway. I hired him whenever I was out there as AD, and he's still the head coach. And obviously, Coach Dennison and Coach Ift. I mean, if you give coaches, if you can just be patient. And that's the thing. When they come and go in a couple of years, it just puts the program in turmoil.
Big 3rd down play for the West and an overthrown pass.
Ryan Lyles pass
that time intended for Cody Williams.
Pass is incomplete. It's 4th down 5.
I don't know that there'd be too many guys that could have caught that pass.
No.
That brings up a 4th down for the West.
That was a quick 3 downs. That's probably the quickest 3 and out of the game right there.
So back for West is Danny March, 5'9", 165, Strasburg graduate.
Coach Henry's pointing and yelling. I don't know what about, but certainly don't think they'll fake it.
And taking it to 41-yard line.
Oh.
Nice move. I'm not sure. It looked like John Gray of Claymont.
Wow. That was very nice. Very nice. Show that again. That would be that would be very nice to see that move. He looked like he was going to be in a lot of trouble, and he just went right by him.
A little bit of tight wire walking over there on the sideline too, not to step out of bounds. Okay, so we're going to have a timeout on the field. 2:53 to go here in the third quarter. East still leading 14-7. And, you know, we probably shouldn't forget that there's actually cheerleaders in this game also. And, you know, when you look at, let's see, maybe we'll start with the East. You got Ashley Nelson, Maggie Boring, Marissa McAfee, Morgan Hubbard, Brooke Howard, and Caitlin Mangus, and all of them advised by Alex Gears. Alex and her counterparts were up in the booth here at halftime. We were talking a little bit, and same on the West.
Yeah, West Side, you know, got Brianna Zedrick, Jalen Meek, Sarah Tolhurst, Hallie Hirschberger, Andrea Kendall, Megan Mulliman, Melissa Cragen, and Cassidy Johnson, and they're coached by the Dover staff, which is Courtney Reese. I always want to call her by her maiden name, and Danny Schumacher.
In a 4, second down, 6.
So it's going to bring up second down and 6 now for the East. Nobody's scoring yet in the second half. East could go a long way in deciding the outcome of this game if they could put this into the end zone. Tucci back to pass. He throws this one high. He got hit hard when he let it go. And a great catch. I'll tell you what, coming back was Mitch Haas of Malvern. So we got a Malvern to a Malvern connection there.
40 yards on the pass play.
And Kevin, watch this hit as he lets go. And he bounced right back up.
6-yard line.
Oh, he didn't even get to finish his pass. And then Haas does a good job of coming back for it.
Yeah, that was again, the receiver was as good as the throw there. He really made a good adjustment to the ball. Well,
yep. Got a little bit of substitution problem here. Clock is moving though. We're down to 10 seconds to get this play off. First and goal.
That's Ethan Grant that just went in the game. Is that the first he's been in?
It might be. Jovan Morrow with the touchdown
jump
reception. Plessinger got the handoff or the direct snap, taking it right up the middle, Kevin.
Jump
everybody's
pass.
thinking, everybody's thinking it's a run.
Jump pass. There's one from the books. Huh?
Touchdown East, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
They go up 20-7, awaiting the extra point kick. Cool, Avinion Valley going to kick the football.
Well, there's where, again, Jovan Morrow's, big target. And,
yep. Snap is good. Kicks up. Hey, Cole's been perfect tonight, 3 for 3. Makes it 21-7. East on top of the West. We're in the third quarter, minute 47 to go. West looking for some answers offensively.
Yeah, I don't know how many plays he's been in. Again, I haven't been watching the line going in and out so much, but the young man from Claymont was in there that time.
Yeah, I don't think he's been for a lot of them.
No, I didn't think so.
So, there's part of that Team Ethan, over 200 people tonight in the stands with those green shirts. And I believe they just say Team Ethan on the front with the number 55.
It's really, as you pointed out, there's a nice crowd. Now, it's a beautiful night for a football game, I mean, in July.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but there really is a lot of people.
And we want to thank the folks at Woods Tall Timber Resort for providing us the fan cams tonight. You know, I mean, I'm impressed there's as many people standing on the track as much as there is up in the stands. I mean, some people just come, they want to watch it from the track. Good look right there at the kicker for East. That's Connor Cool. He's 3 for 3 from the extra points. This one taken at the 12-yard line. Let's see, maybe
that Shea?
Smith. Yep.
Yeah,
nice return.
Jay Smith on the return.
Probably going to mark him right about the 37-yard line.
By Connor Cool. West All-Stars will start
Well, you know what?
first and 10 from their
All
own
night
37-yard
long,
line.
this is probably the best field position they've had of anything that they've taken on a kickoff or whatever. So,
yeah,
they got to do something with this with 1:40 to go third quarter.
Yeah,
they trail by
they're
2.
down 2. Yeah, they're down 2 scores. That's they need to make this drive pay off. So they've got is that Carson? Or no, wrong team again.
At
Keffer.
quarterback, it's Ryan Lowe still.
Wrong team again, Keffer.
To Landry Hostetler.
And Hostetler didn't quite
Verhoeven.
get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe they say
No
he did.
gain, second down 10.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 still at the 37-yard line. 1:15 clock moving here in the third quarter. All the people behind the scenes, Kevin. I mean, you look at the scoreboard here at Quaker Stadium, and I mean, it's got all the graphics from the kids in this game. Somebody had to come in and input all that. And all these volunteers, there's a big hit on Adams. Again, the one thing the quarterbacks have done wrong tonight, if they've done anything, I don't know if that's adrenaline, I don't know if that's just excitement, but they're overthrowing the intended receivers quite a bit.
Throwing the ball high just gets your receiver in trouble, and it doesn't complete the pass. You almost always have a better chance if it's a little lower than if it's high.
It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now for the West. Again, they trail by 2 scores. We're under a minute to go here, third quarter. Lowe back to pass. He's got the receiver at the 40. And sandwich there. It might have been Smith.
Yeah, Shea. That was Shea Smith. Yeah, you were talking about the moving parts. I mean, and here at Woody Hayes Stadium, they have 2 scoreboards basically, so they have to have 2 people operate. You know, they got the regular people operating downs and all that, but then they got the graphics, and yeah, somebody's got to come in and input all that, and you know, that's all done just by somebody who wants to make it right, you know, and it's.
Yep. Like I say, it's a community event for a great cause. And Lowe, this one's knocked down. Good job defensively. And I believe those hands belong to Sam Shook. Sam Shook playing defense, New Philadelphia, 6'2" and 260.
Have a 1st and 10.
How about that, huh?
Uh-huh.
Ball's on their own 40.
So on 4th down, West not able to come up with the 1st down. And with 12 seconds to go, third quarter, East is going to take over. They already lead 21-7, and
guess they felt like they had to go for that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Their punter's not.
Still Tucci at quarterback. Hands off Plessinger.
Plessinger on a carry.
Plessinger right up the middle. Gets across the 40 down to about the 38. So pickup of almost 7. We'll say 6. 2nd and 4. And that's going to be it, Kevin, for the third quarter. Again, East able to put a score up in the third quarter. West can't counter it. And the West is going in to start the fourth quarter trailing 21-7. We'll be back with fourth quarter action right here on DMG TV2.
Myers & Miller Podiatry provides complete foot and ankle care to patients of all ages. The practice was established in 2000 by Dr. Adam Myers and has grown to include Dr. Andy Miller in 2007 and most recently Dr. Jason Backage in 2010. Our core values of respect and honesty are the basis for how we manage our practice, and we have grown by building relationships with our patients in order to better serve their needs. Myers & Miller Podiatry serves Tuscarawas and Holmes County with offices in Dover, Sugar Creek, New Comerstown, and Millersburg. Let's get started building our relationship.
Hi, this is Denise from the Glass Lumber Company. Are you ready to tackle those fall projects? Call Glass Lumber. We have everything you need to finish those fall projects. Do you want to make your home more energy efficient? Call Glass Lumber and ask about new windows, doors, and insulation. Do you need a new roof? Call Glass Lumber. We offer complete roofing packages and we deliver. Do you need pressure-treated lumber? Call Glass Lumber. We have a complete line of pressure-treated, premium-grade Pro wood for all of your building projects. Doors, windows, insulation, roofing packages, flooring, a complete line of hardware, and of course lumber. With estimating and delivery, it's all at the Glass Lumber Company. Are you not sure if the project will fit the budget? Call Glass Lumber. We are a service company also. From the handyman to the contractor, Glass Lumber Company, we have everything to build anything. On the Boulevard in New Philadelphia or online at glasslumbercompany.com.
Relax, Carlos. With McDonald's, you can afford to win them both over.
Now you can pick up a Big Mac Extra Value Meal with fries and a Coke for just $3.99. So there's plenty of McDonald's love to go around.
The 37th annual TR Charity All-Star Game. Willie Grove along with Kevin Keffer tonight. And Kevin, I'll tell you what, all time, West leads the series 19-17, and they're going to have to do something to get back in this game. But pass back to Tucci. Tucci's got a block. He's down to the 20, 15, dropped at about the 18-yard line. Maybe not the way they drew it up, Kevin, but when he threw that ball backwards to Byers, Byers was already going down, and he got it back to Tucci, and look what Tucci made out of it.
Yeah, it was definitely a lateral. The first one was Byers is definitely going back. You can see he's making an effort to go make sure it's a lateral.
And he had to get rid of it right here. 4 red jerseys. Now Tucci's got a couple blocks. He doesn't have as many red jerseys to worry about.
Carries her out there like,
yeah,
swings it around a little bit, but.
And after all that, we got to wait and see what the flags are for. So we're going to have some penalties.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing you don't want too much of. And again, Jimmy O'Donnell's telling Eric Henry, just get back. So they're just, and again,
offsetting it.
Jimmy's just saying, look, you know what? Quit being goofy.
Well, the good news for the East, for the East is the yardage that Tucci picked up stays. It counts.
Yeah, they didn't lose anything.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 13-yard line. Fakes to the first guy, gives it to Plessinger. Inside the 10, down close to the 6.
I'll say that's a nice run right there,
Yep.
Willie. That's it.
Hey, you know what? We used to say, what, first down 3? I mean, 3 yards and a pile of dust, and that's what the game was. Well, when you can pick up 7 or 8 yards like he just did right there on first down, that helps you.
Second down becomes a lot easier to call, I can tell you that.
2nd and about 3 for the East. Ball just outside the 5-yard line. Tucci Thrown to the deep end zone. Byers. Again, you're not going to out-jump him.
That was the case of Byers. He got his body. He got his body in great position. Just the defender was behind him. He couldn't get around him. That was just like a box out in basketball. He just said no. And he's so big, you know, and he jumps so well.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he's not 6'4".
Yeah.
But a great athlete, went up high for that one. Tucci, all he had to do was throw it to the outside and let him go get it. So East expanding their lead to 27-7. And before we get the extra point, we've got some penalty flags, and we're going to stop the play. So just about a minute gone here in the final quarter. Offense is going to get called for a false start here. So the East is going to have to move it back 5 yards. Just makes a little longer extra point.
I mean, right now, you'd have to put, you know, Byers is right up in there too, and start talking about who's the most valuable player on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and we got it again.
Yeah.
They're going to get East, so we're moving back another 5 yards. Now it's going to be a nice extra point from 30 yards.
I was going to say, wonder he may not be able to hit it. He may not be able to hit it from there. You know, he may have just told him.
Well, you know what? They may be going for it now, huh? That's exactly what they're doing. They're sending the offense back in.
Well, I don't know if the kicker decided that or but kind of was out of my range, you know? Well, I mean.
Yeah. They place it at the 20, it'd be a 30-yard field goal. Okay, we're still for the extra point. So they're going for the 2-point conversion now. Back to pass is Tucci, throws it into the end zone. And depends on who come down with it. Incomplete.
If he comes down with that one, that's.
So the 2-point conversion, no good. Score stands 27-7. That turns into a big uphill battle. And Kevin, I was saying, the West leads the series 19-17. Actually, the West came out on top last year, 31-28. And the hero of that game with 32 seconds to go in the game, Felipe Bravo hit a 23-yard field goal for the win for the West.
Yeah.
So if it stands like it is, East inches one game closer, and it'll be 19-18 all time. So this All-Star game.
I actually think there was a time when the East
had a big lead.
East led the series, I think. You know,
I'm with you.
I mean, I'd have to go back, but in my memory banks, it's back in those years when you know, Coach Tyner, when Central was pretty good, you know, and you know, it was the schools that were involved in it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of them, it was probably the East, had a huge lead, and then the other side just kind of chipped at it each year, got back to where it's, you know, after tonight.
It's amazing, though, you think about it, how close it is. It's only a couple games spread after 37 years. I mean, it's obviously a pretty even game.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, they picked the sides pretty well when they did. Now, there's some of the schools, like I think Waynedale used to be in it and some other schools, but they've since dropped out. You know, and a lot of the schools, I'd call them fringe schools, Fairless, and some of them, they send a kid or two, but they don't send a lot of kids, you know. Because a lot of those kids can play in the Stark County All-Star game too, and so they're only playing one, I think. Well, I shouldn't say that. That might not be true.
East kickoff.
Luke Filippi on
taken by Filippi at about the 25, got out to the 30. So we'll see what the West can do. I mean, they're going to have to do some things in a hurry if they're going to get back into this game. 27-7, they trail. And they got it 1st and 10, right around their own 30-yard line.
Ball will be on their own 30-yard line.
The other advantage, too, Will, of having your own staff coach the thing is you tell the kids come to your place and your staff's right there versus, you know, coaches having to drive from Riverview and Coshocton maybe to New Philly or vice versa. You know, that That was just a little bit of a hassle.
One of them actually came to the game on a bus. So maybe it was Strasburg where they met and just loaded a bus and came down. And let's see, he's going to call that incomplete.
Pass. That was incomplete. His arm was going forward.
Oh, we got it going. And again,
Orthopedics comprehensive programs provide early diagnosis and successful treatment for every musculoskeletal problem. With more than 30 years of orthopedic experience, their physicians offer patient-centered treatment for all ages. From evaluation to rehabilitation, your treatment plan is designed around your needs. Omni Orthopedics specializes in sports medicine, the spine, physical medicine and rehabilitation, foot and ankle, and hand surgery. If pain makes activities like climbing stairs, standing or walking a challenge, turn to the home team at Omni Orthopedics. Their mission is to provide you with the highest quality and most advanced orthopedic services so you can get back in the game. Located in the Oxford Medical Arts Building, Omni offers a full-service facility including digital x-ray and physical therapy. So there's no need to travel when quality care is so close to home. Omni Orthopedics, setting the standard in orthopedic care.
As the area's leader in direct-to-garment printing, you won't be surprised by Dennison T-Shirt Graphics' huge range of services: screen printing, banners, engraving, graphic design, and embroidery. They offer just about anything you can imagine, like shirts, mugs, hats, plaques, trophies, and more. They're located right here in New Philadelphia on the south side and on the web at DennisonT-shirt.com.
Hat maker Vincent Brimble prospered in the town of Hattington. Never flashy, he only made the classic bowler. Then suddenly the day's trend became preposterously tall. His Raymond James financial advisor reminded him that focusing on the long term is always fashionable. The fad was indeed a passing one. His patience paid off, allowing him to one day hang up his hat with confidence.
Are you uncertain about your retirement, your investments, or the economy and would like a second opinion? Please contact us at 330-343-2212 or visit us online at raymondjamesohio.com. Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA SPIC.
And we are back here at Quaker Stadium as there's going to be some penalties and some, boy, that ball's moved way down to the other end of the field. Willie Grove along with Kevin Keffer. And Kevin, even though it's an all-star game, tempers flew. Some guys got ejected through all of it. And the guys that want to play football are still on the field, and we're going to finish this 10 minutes and 51 seconds.
Yeah, that's just too bad, Willie. I mean, really, it just is. It just, I get it. They want to win, and I get it. It's competitive, but this game's for charity, and at some point you got to.
Yeah, Jim O'Donnell just mentioning that who got ejected and that sort of thing. We can tell you this. There were 4 players from the East that were involved in a altercation on the field, fighting, and 2 players from the West that were picked out and ejected out of this game. So, again, penalties, the yardages are going to be marked off. It looks as though first down at the 45-yard line, and I believe the West was on offense. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah. Probably first,
after all of that,
it's probably 1st and 10, I think. Well,
okay.
Well, I mean, because it'll
come up first.
Yeah, yeah.
And for the West, back to pass, incomplete. That was Ryan Lowe of Ridgewood.
Alan Raffini on the cover.
And it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Tried to go back to Cody Williams again. They haven't thrown to him for a while. He had a couple really big catches in the first half.
Yeah, I think he was over 60 or 80 yards in receptions. West needing to do something quick. Now with the incomplete pass, clock stopped, 10:38 to go in the ball game. They trail 27-7. Lowe Back to pass once again. Over the middle. Intercepted. Coming back the other way for East is John Gray of Claymont. Gray gets a couple blocks. He's at the 30. Stepped out of bounds inside the 30. And let's see, didn't see an official real close, but let's see where they put him.
I'm not sure he was out of bounds, Willie. I don't think if they did, it was right there.
Yeah, it was tough to tell from up here.
This pass was supposed to be for Shea Smith, and Shea never turned around, so he did know it was coming.
Another one of our Bernai's Italian Deli and Cafe replay.
You can see Shea.
Yep.
No,
and if you watch this, I mean, Gray cuts back there. He goes to the outside. And somewhere inside the 30, we're not going to see it all, about the 31, and that's pretty close to where they marked it. And a pass back to the corner. Brady Byers was intended to cut out and didn't actually get out to the corner. Caleb Beans back in at quarterback.
Caleb threw that one, but there was really nobody there. Something happened there that wasn't what he was expecting. And he was under a little bit of pressure.
Yep. 27-7, the score. Beans at quarterback. In the backfield with him at running back is Greg Cunningham. A couple of New Philadelphia products. Cunningham gets the handoff. Bust across the 25, down to the 23-yard line.
And again, we saw Cunningham with a nice run in the first. Might have been early in the second half, but I think it was in the first half. But those kids didn't get to carry the ball too much.
Gain of 3, it's 3rd down 7.
For very good reason.
Yeah. Under 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Beans, he had to throw. Well, I don't know. I think that's caught. That ball, boy, if we have that replay, I think that hit somebody's foot.
Yeah, that had to bounce. That had to bounce
off of a foot. Kevin, let's check this out. I mean, it was a great pass.
Actually, Beans threw a nice ball
before the guy broke open. Now watch this ball hits him in the foot. Good reception or interception there.
He tried to, the receiver tried to keep it alive, and by doing so, it popped up in the air.
None other than Luke Filippi with the interception.
So Luke's returned the kick and got an interception, huh? He's going to Ohio Dominican, I believe, to play football.
That'd be a good fit. Ball carry out across the 15 to the 16.
Colton Plessinger made the tackle.
It was Adams on the carry. And normally we say Plessinger on the carry for East. This time he was on the tackle.
But due to the
loss of players?
Yeah. Due to that, I'm sure some of these kids are going to have to go in and play.
So Plessinger in at linebacker also. Lowe still at quarterback for the West. Adams directly behind him. He gets the handoff. Nice cut back across the 20, almost to the 25. That extra effort got him the first down for the West.
He's a nice ball carrier, Willie.
Yep. Yeah, there's kind of some hidden talents at other schools that we don't ever get to see. Yeah. I mean, it does a nice job there to cut it out and then kind of sidesteps this guy just to get an extra 4 yards.
I mean, maybe 5.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, that's a big play for a running back.
2 wideouts left and right, running back. They're going to give it to Adams again.
Henry Hostetler on the carry.
They'll make that Hostetler.
The East's turnovers have just, I mean, the game's obviously there. It's in control now, but I think it could have gotten out. It could have gone pretty lopsided if they don't have those turnovers.
Now we're down less than 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Lowe's going to pass. Now he's going to have to tuck it and run. Tries to go up the middle. Just short of the 30.
Made the tackle.
It's It'll be 3rd down and 6 now for the West.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to go for it. I mean, it's,
2 3rd down
you don't want to go for it on your 29-yard line, but they don't have much choice at this point, and it's an all-star game. You're not going to punt the ball.
You know, Kevin, over the years that they've done this, the TR has given $314,000. That's a chunk of change. That's a lot of money that's gone to charities. And we know for sure for the last 16 years, again, it has gone to the Rainbow Connection, as Wes is going to take a timeout to talk it over. So, you know, there's good that comes out of this game every year, and throughout the year they lead up to it. They do some things to get ready for it. It's just a win-win.
Well, if you take the families that have been touched by that $300,000, you know, and plus whatever we're going to make tonight, you know, which is going to be I think a pretty nice crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, you take the people that have been touched by that money, and ask them how they feel about the game. You know, that's what we don't hear. But yeah, there's been a lot of good done.
Again, West taking a timeout just to talk it over. Unless something really weird happens where they get a few strikes with long passes, running's not going to get it. They're down 27-7, and they got to get some points.
Yeah,
awful quick.
There has to be something. There has to be something pretty big happening pretty quick, I think, for them. I don't think I'd say it's impossible, but certainly is you know, one of those things where it's definitely an uphill battle right now.
We're going to have interference on the east. That pass intended for Smith of Dover, and he's interfered, and it's going to be a first down. It'll bring a first down for the West. We'll have the call. 15-yard penalty. So that's going to move the ball all the way out to the 44-yard line. So as you look at 7 home games coming up for you, Kevin, does that present any more problems or just more work for you? I wanted to bring that up one time anyways.
Well, it's at some point that, Willie, that what the benefit is that, you know, our band gets to have a nice, you know, chance to show off, and our football team gets to play at home on, you know, what's, you know, just like Woody Hayes now. It's a beautiful turf field, and a little more comfortable for that. But also it helps the other sports because the money that's generated from the football program helps all the other sports in Dover, and those extra, you know, game or two, that really makes a difference.
2nd and 16 now. Low. That's a floater. That just took off as soon as he left his hand over the head of the intended receiver. And, you know, for years, I would have helped a little bit. I mean, maybe not for years, but my daughters were in the band, and there's a lot of concession money to be made at a home game at Dover.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just about the football team. I mean, it is, but they're the main show. But yeah, the band boosters make quite a bit. I mean, you know, we're just completing the second new concession stand for them, and you know, that's they count on that money.
3rd and 16 now. Lowe's gonna run into trouble and buried.
Ryan Lau sack.
And
Mark
that's
Barrow applying the pressure. Austin Bentley with the sack.
I've heard his name, the Bentley kid.
A few times.
Yeah, he's Carrollton kid. And there's another one where we wouldn't see him.
Yeah.
Loss of 5, 4th down, 21.
I mean, we did play him a few years ago. I'd see some of them, but he wasn't. He was probably a 7th grader.
He's grown into a 5'10", 225-pound.
He's pretty good.
Graduate. We are going to punt now. And this is a little bit off the side of the foot, but takes a great bounce for the West. Down to the 31-yard line. That's where it's down.
Down on the 31-yard line.
5:23 to go in the ball game.
We'll start 1st and 10.
Here from Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium. Our version, the 2014 version of the Times-Reporter Charity All-Star Game. And again, I just think it's a great thing. Just showcase one more time. I look around. I mean, you were on the phone before the game with some of the people walking into the stadiums. You got their cell phone numbers, parents, grandparents. We walked up together. You said hello to a few people that you remembered. So, I mean, it's just great to come out and watch football on a perfect night.
Yeah, and I don't get to see a number of those people were from Uricksville or Denison, and I don't get to see those people very often, you know. So.
Yep. I think it's Miser at quarterback. Long pass down the left sideline. And Pape was the intended receiver. That one kind of floated out of bounds where he couldn't get it.
Yeah, well covered there. I think that's Jordan Mills, I think.
I'll bring up 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass.
Little surprised East is throwing the ball deep. I think you know, but
padding the numbers.
Just a little surprised.
And at quarterback is David Miser once again this
Mark
time. Barrow with it. Picks up a couple.
Logan Wilson.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 8
made
now.
the tackle. Gain of 2, 3rd down 8.
5 minutes to go in the ball game. That's what you want to see in the game that's 27-7 with under 5 minutes to go. That is run the football and keep that clock moving.
Yeah, that does enter everybody's mind at some point.
Man in motion. Miser fakes to him. Now Miser's going to have to try to get out of some red jerseys, and it just kind of closes up on him. One of the guys that closed in at the final there was Tommy Lehman, Ridgewood product.
Faust, Lehman. Yeah, Lehman, Faust. You don't want to meet those guys. You don't want to meet those guys if you're Miser, I don't think.
No. 6 foot 230 is Lehman. Faust is 6'4", 265. Especially when you run into him. This is a decent punt. Drives the West player all the way back to the 15-yard line. And that's going to be Joe Workall. Workall from Garraway, 5'9", 150. So 3:52 to go in the ball game. West one more time on offense.
Stars will have a 1st and 10 on their own 19-yard line.
And it will be 1st and 10 for the West.
Yeah, the good news is all these kids are getting to play. And
yep. Well, and you got, somebody like, Ethan's team's here. I mean, he got to play, got the go-ahead from the doctor. He had a couple injuries. The guys said, hey, you know what? We want to play in this game. I just think that's great.
Yeah, for a lot of them, it'll be, for most of them, it'll be the last time they put on a pair of, shoulder pads and a helmet
and Adams on the carry.
And play football.
They're going to say the ball was down. Adams
Nick Shuckler made the tackle.
With the carry and lost the football as he went down.
Yeah, for most of them, that'll be the last time.
And how about the teammates? I mean, we talked about Dover having several players on the team together. I mean, one more time to play with your teammate that you spent, probably most of your career with.
For some of those kids.
Junior high up.
Yeah, I was going to say for some of those kids, 6-7 years. Yeah, they've been together. Depending, if they played, together in junior high, but most of them did.
Lowe, the quarterback, hands off. Running back, Hostetler, I believe.
Landry Hostetler.
Yeah, Landry Hostetler.
From Strasburg.
Along with Sam Shook.
You can watch it right here on our Bernay's Italian Deli and Cafe replay.
1st and 10 West, balls on their own 29-yard.
He's been doing the blocking most of the time. He hasn't.
Yeah, and I think with an all-star team, you don't have an exceptional number of, say, running backs. So these guys get to play that position tonight. It's not like they're platooning except at quarterback.
Right.
You got so many guys on the team. You got to have linemen, defense, offense. So it's kind of nice. Adams is getting to carry the ball a lot. Plessinger's getting to carry the ball a lot.
I was going to say those two For sure. I mean, they jump right out at you. I mean,
yeah.
You know, the Miser kids made a couple good runs from quarterback, and so did Tucci. But you know, you look at the fact that we've seen 2 running backs that are really pretty nice running backs.
Yep.
And again, we're not the best one in the area. It's not playing. So
2nd and 6, handoff to Adams. Adams jumps over one guy, got all the way out to the 39. He's going to be close to that first down.
Sam Shook made the tackle.
There's an example right there. Right?
Yep. And he did get the first down.
Goes on their own 39-yard line.
So they'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 39. Minute 45 to go in the ball game. Wide receivers both ways. 2 guys in the backfield with Lowe. Lowe's going to have to run it. Gets back.
Ryan Lau on the carry.
Going to pick up maybe a yard on the carry. Give him 2. Stay with us after the game as we'll bring you our most valuable players.
Sam Shook
and
on the tackle.
Also, we're going to have our Rick's Motor Sales drive of the game tonight. We call it the McDonald's I'm Loving It player of the game. West not in any hurry. Probably keep it on the ground. I mean, we're down to 45 seconds to go in the ball game.
I don't know about you, but if we're allowed to talk about the drive of the game, I'd almost have to say the very first drive of the game where the East took the ball and you remember they went, what, 4.5 minutes and went right down and scored. And I mean, honestly, from that point on, Willie, they've never been in danger of not winning the game. I mean, I don't know if that's.
How about Brady Faust at tailback got the carry just now? All right. So Jim O'Donnell said, don't start that play clock, but they did.
Most Valuable Player Awards.
So one more play.
At the conclusion of tonight's game.
And the handoff.
Jim O'Donnell just doesn't want anything.
Yeah.
Logan Wilson on the carry.
That was Wilson with the carry, so that's going to be it. So
Earl Scranton made the tackle. That's the end of the game.
That's it for the 37th annual
The West All-Stars 7.
All-Star game here at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium, and that's going to be it. And when we come back, Kevin and I will wrap this up. It is a victory for the East, 27-7. We'll have our drive of the game, and we'll have our most valuable players, and have all that for you right after this.
Hi, I'm Paula Salzner, realtor with Kaufman Realty and Auctions, and I'm inviting you to watch my real estate show on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 6 o'clock. We'll talk about everything from financing to buying your first home to listing your home. So stop in and watch me. So this is Paula, selling Ohio 1 yard at a time.
Hi, I'm 1450 WJER's Bill Morgan, inviting you to join me on television Wednesday evenings at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 for TV2 Sports Talk. Sports Talk is your weekly look inside high school football, volleyball, soccer, and more. Look for guest appearances from your favorite area coaches and players. TV2 Sports Talk, Wednesday evenings at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 on DMG Channel 2 on Time Warner Cable.
Well, one more time, Willie Grove along with Kevin Keffer, and we are post-game here at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium. And Kevin, I'll tell you what, it was an entertaining game. Had a little infraction there that was unfortunate, but the East coming out on top tonight, 27-7. And when we look at our Rick's Motor Sales drive of the game, you talked about it already tonight. Maybe just remind the folks just to get them off the board.
Yeah, I think it was the first. I think it was the first drive of the game, really, where the East just took the ball and methodically 4 minutes and 15 seconds or whatever it was, but went right down the field and scored. And I mean, from that point on, it never appeared that they were in any real danger of not winning the game. It was more of a matter of what the score was going to be when it was over.
And that is our drive of the game. It's brought to you by Rick's Motor Sales, located at 1551 State Route 39 Northwest in Dover. If you're in the market for a great pre-owned car, give them a call at 330-364-5274 for the best deal around. And we go from our drive of the game basically right into our team totals. And I think when you look at the team totals, you're not going to be surprised. I mean, the East came out on top. They had more passing yards and more rushing yards and overall total yards. They turned the ball over 3 times. That's probably the only negative thing about the East. But the West just didn't seem to get on track tonight.
No, and when the West, one of their score was a big strike thing, basically, and I think it was a 4th down play actually, or that they converted a 4th down in that drive. And other than that, I mean, they were basically held in check. And so, I mean, the East just pretty much dominated the game from the beginning. Well,
and I mean, what makes up team totals is individual stats from a ball game. So it leads us right into our McDonald's most valuable players tonight, because in the All-Star game, it's just not picking one guy. It's picking 2 guys from each team, one on offense, one on defense. So tonight's MVPs, it's brought to you by McDonald's, with 9 locations to serve you in Bolivar, Strasburg, Dover, Yerricksville, New Comerstown, Caddis, Sugar Creek, and 2 locations in New Philadelphia. So we want to thank the folks at McDonald's for sponsoring our player of the games. Let's take a look, first of all, at the East. I mean, our players of the game tonight for the East on offense, it's no secret, it was Coben Plessinger. Yeah. Coben, I mean, his final numbers, Kevin, whether it's an all-star game or not, 12 carries, so he was the workhorse, 75 yards, so he deserved the offensive player of the game.
Oh, yeah, and again, in that very first drive, I mean, he set the tone for the game very early. He had a couple big runs in the very first drive, and honestly, I was pretty impressed with the young man from the very beginning. I have no problem with that.
And defensive player on the East, John Gray of Claymont. John, some big hits defensively, and well-deserved. McDonald's, I'm loving it, and I think John's loving it right now for being named the defensive player of the game. We go over to the West, and again, offensively for the West, I'm telling you what, their workhorse was Brandon Adams. And when I give you these numbers, 16 carries for 106 yards. Not a big guy, but boy, he impressed us tonight, being the first time we've ever seen him.
And again, he's on the losing side of the ledger, but he's going to carry the ball 16 times and have a 100-yard game. I mean, that's a pretty nice night's work. You're going to get 100 yards, 16 carries. That's 20 carries that's 5 yards a carry. So he was averaging 5.5, 6 yards a carry. That's pretty good night's work.
And we look at the defensive player on the West. It's Clay Stutzman. So we want to congratulate Mr. Stutzman for being named our defensive player of the game tonight. And you know what? It all adds up to a victory by the East. They cut the deficit now. Coming in, it was 19-17. West still leads 19-18. So next year it's pivotal. A victory by the East is going to tie that thing up after all these years.
That's crazy. It's just crazy that it's that close to me. But that just proves, like I said, that they've set up the teams right and kept it balanced, and it's just been a good show.
Well, we want to remind everybody, just get ready to join us. Football's just around the corner, And I know that makes my partner Kevin Keffer happy because his life gets a little more busier as the athletic director at Dover High School. But a lot of thank yous out there. I mean, want to thank the crew. Great job by the cameras, the directors. And Kevin, really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for joining me in the booth tonight.
Willie, like I told you going into this, I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't going to be with you. Somebody had to put up with me stumbling and stuttering, but also a big thanks to the New Philadelphia people, the custodial people, the park people, Bear and everybody, but Ed Leggett too, and all the work they do to get ready for this game, because you got to get ready almost a month before you really want to get ready. So it does take a lot of work. So.
Absolutely, and most of all, thanks to you for tuning in to our game tonight right here on DMG TV2.